Yo, what's up, pups? How's everybody doing tonight? We're doing a little something different tonight. You know. What's this button do? How's everybody doing? What's up, Brian? What's up, King Gray? What's up, One Day at a Time? Orez, Tam Tam, Marco Marcello. What's up, Ted? How you doing? Frank White. What's up, Deerslayer? Good to see you. Today we got a guest we always have on, a friend of ours, Mr. Fast Abdoul. We're going to talk about a project he's doing called Ink Printer. What's up, Frank White? What's up, Marco? What's up, Hans? Yeah. We like it because we're excited about ink. Who else excited about ink? Team RH? Yup. What's up, Fox Mulder, Lucky Luke 369, Halfa Hover, Jim Cork, Ryan D, Not Good, Rodriguez 17. What's up? What's up, Heinrich? Heinrich, I have no idea what you just said. What's up, Kingsway? You'll have to break that down for me. I don't even know what you're saying there. What's up, Salty Dog and Balta? Ted Nelson, what's going on? Yo. Oh, you're right. What's this button do? Hang on one sec. Pups, how's the sound going? You guys hear me all right? Yo, So Lake Cucumber, what's going on? What's up, Ted? What's up, Jim Corky? Kingsway, what's up, brother? You loving the cool jazz? Good, man. I put it on just for you. I knew you were going to like it. I had some Tokyo jazz on. I think we guess like Portuguese or something. Yo, let's bring the man in. Chat, pardon me. I'm going to make some room for the Mr. Oh, what was that button? It's not the button I wanted. Mr. Fast Abdoul, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing, Wolf?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great, man. Good to see you. Ink is finally taking off. We've been talking about getting together and doing a deep dive on ink and talking about what you got going on here on Ink Printer. And so it's great to see you, man. And it was really awesome to see you building something on ink, my favorite RH project. But yeah, man. Before we jump,
had a good couple weeks, eh? It went from like $1.07 up to $2.12 ish was the high, I think.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Yeah. It really made a jump. Well, let me check this internet right now. Let me close a chart here. Make sure we got some stream power. Hang on one second. Cool. All right. You are flickering just a little bit. That's why I was double checking that. How's it looking over on your end? Chat, how's it looking? Does the stream look okay? Because I'm getting some weird flickers.
Okay on my end. I'm running off satellite internet. Usually it's pretty steady, but there's a lot of forest fires right now. I think that's slowing me down a little bit. Smoke in the air.
All right, cool. Everyone says it looks good. So before we jump right into the project, really tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto and how you came over here to PulseChain, Mr. Fast Abdoul.
Well, I got into crypto in the regular way. You know, bros were talking about Bitcoin, that kind of thing. Got my feet wet, but I never really do anything half-ass. I always go all in like a crazy person on stuff. So yeah. I was it was coming in at the towards the top of the last bull market. And I start out on centralized exchanges, of course, as people do, and ended up getting into bot trading. So I was doing like bot trading. I was running all kinds of bots, um, and I did really well with it for quite a while.
All right.
As it was like bots that ran on centralized exchanges to like arbitrage different things and so on and so forth. And it was great in a bull market. Turns out those kinds of bots don't work so well in a bear market. So I ended up doing less well as the numbers start to come down. Um, but the end result was I found out about the Pulse sacrifice and the Pulse sacrifice. I was too late for the Pulse sacrifice. I think it was still live, but it was not one of the better rates that you could get because that's how it worked. And that was my first introduction to Richard Heart tokens was the PulseX sacrifice. So I participated in that and then started looking into other projects in the ecosystem, participated in various sacrifices. Some worked out for me, some not so much. And then of course we went into the long pulse chain bear market. Which was,
Yeah.
that was my learning time. That was when I really started to learn about DeFi in a heavy way.
Mm.
Like keep in mind that back when I was like doing the bot thing and stuff like that, like I didn't even have like I didn't even have my own wallet. Like I wasn't using MetaMask, right? So, I'm the new guy comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with to get into PulseChain, that's when I started to learn about DeFi, Richard Hart, Hex, all the stuff. And the result of that is that I'm now building things on PulseChain because that's just where the learning process took me, right?
Yeah. Good, man. Were you always into building things? Or is this just something that evolved being over here?
I've been in business for 25 years, like for myself. So in a way, yeah. So I was always into building something, not always on the blockchain. And I'm not a dev, I'm not a computer programmer or anything like that. But yeah, I've always been into um, making something bigger, making something great. That's always been my intention, right? So I did well enough in business, but now my full-time job is crypto, and my full-time job is building on the Pulse chain.
Nice, nice. Why PulseChain, man? What do you like about PulseChain? Like, why do you think it caught your attention, or like, why did you stay here?
Probably one main thing, which is community, right? Like it's, as far as like any chain goes, like the community on Pulse Chain is by far the best. Like you have like, intense rivalries, you have intense cheerleaders. Everything's intense and the people are engaged. Like, go to try to find that on like Polygon. Like where are the Polygon Telegram rooms? Who are the Polygon influencers, right? Like I don't think there are any, right? Like it's like aside from like Ethereum or maybe something like XRP, like you don't have any communities that compare, and those communities like are fragmented, right? Whereas
Yeah.
like Pulse Chain community, we might have our own subcults, but everybody's there and everybody's engaged, everybody's showing up to the same events to some degree, and you just don't find that anywhere else. So as far as building, like sure, there's other chains you can build on, but like if you don't have a way to tell the people that like, hey, I built this thing, you could use it, it's going to be really hard. Like you'll end up, if you wanted to build something on whatever chain, even something like Sonic, like which is like a hot chain right now, but like you'd have to take out $100,000 in advertising to let people know that this product existed, right? Whereas on Pulse Chain, you can just like literally post something on Twitter, engage with the Pulse Chain community directly, post things on Telegram, and like thousands of people who are engaged with the Pulse Chain. So it's like targeted audience will pick up on it and like they'll like it, they won't like it, but they'll engage and you'll get feedback almost immediately. I can't see that anywhere else.
That's true. That is very true. There is really no other community like what we are and what we have and what is growing over here, without a doubt. Mind if I ask
Yep.
really quick to go back on what were you building before?
What was I building before,
You,
before crypto?
you mentioned you were always a builder and you were in business 25 years building.
Yeah. I don't want to get too specific for
I,
non-doxing reasons,
I
but
can totally
like
understand that. Yeah.
basically,
Whatever you can say.
yeah, I was always involved in some type of sales, right? Like in my youth, like I went to university and stuff like that, and but like I always got these sales jobs that paid so much better than anything else that you could get when you're a kid, like when you're
Mhm.
18, 19 years old. And I always ended up getting pushed into management like way before I should have been, like all the time, right? Like I remember I was how old was I? 18 years old, and I ended up running a fundraiser for the police department. That was my first like management gig. I had like 20 people working for me. And it was,
Really?
like it was like a cheesy job, but like it was that sort of thing. So like that sort of continued, and then it didn't take me long. I think by the time I was 28 years old, I wasn't working for anybody anymore. I was just no 27. Yeah. By 27 I was self-employed, and I haven't had an employer since then in any way, shape, or form. So it's always been like, somewhat connected to importing and exporting. I've done a lot of traveling for that, which has been great. So I've been like all over the world, Asia, India, yeah, all over Europe, for business purposes, which is, like a great tax write-off, but it was actually like it was for a reason. So I could go and contact distributors directly, meet with people, right? And I always found that you like if you can meet with people, actually interact with them, you build trust in a way that you just can't otherwise, right? And some different cultures that's harder to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I'm dealing with Canadians, Americans, Europeans, like we all kind of want the same thing. It's a little harder with some other cultures, but still that personal visit, or at the very least, a personal conversation like we're having now, builds a huge degree of trust. So I sort of built my career on that. I was the guy who would actually show up in India, actually show up in Thailand, right, or in Vietnam to make the deal, right?
Wow.
And especially places like India, I don't think they had very many 6'1" white guys showing up multiple times to shake hands and to make deals. And I did well with that concept.
Nice. Nice. Ladies in the chat are excited when you said 6'1".
Oh, I was trying to keep that secret. Darn.
You're doxxed now, man. That's it.
Nope.
It's out. Well, it's good, man. It sounds like other grown men trusted you from a young age to do things. But
Yeah.
what do you think though in crypto? Do you think trust matters here? Because isn't the whole point of crypto so we don't have to trust anybody?
I think that's true, and the concept is good, right? And we have like immutable protocols, meaning that the code can't be changed, right?
Yeah.
But not all protocols are immutable, not all can be immutable, but parts of them will be immutable. The parts that prevent, ideally, the founder from stealing the money, are immutable on all the good protocols on Ethereum and on PulseChain. But the trust element is still super important because of the level of understanding most people have, right? So, like the Pulse Chain community, overall, I would put in like the top 5%, like almost every single person, for understanding of DeFi and of crypto and of privacy and like all the things that are important, all the things that Richard Hart preaches. But like there's still a huge gap between the average user and like actual devs or like the top 1% of users who actually understand how things work, right?
Mhm.
So there has to be a degree of trust that when somebody tells you, okay, this is safe, and here is the audit that that they can actually read and understand the audit, that they can actually verify themselves that it's safe. Like very few people could actually work on that level. Like it's so like you have like when you start to have trusted founders face on the screen, um, you can at least have a better indication because people will say like all these things about like, oh, I only use immutable protocols, I only use audited protocols, but it's like it's not enough, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like the scammers are getting smart, and it's not just that something could be a scam, it's that there could be mistakes made. If there is a mistake made, will the founder stand by the product, right? So if you have founders that are that are present, that are engaging, that are building trust, it gives people a much better indication of like, I should look closer at this than if that's not the case. So like it's cool. Like if somebody just makes a cool widget that people can use in crypto, that's great. But like almost nobody can actually verify for themselves that this is safe. You have guys like Frank White in the chat. Well, like Frank's a dev, like he can do his own homework, but very few people are, right?
Right. So you think you think the trust matters, but because of that,
The trust matters, but also the marketing matters, right? Like if you don't have somebody who's showing up to talk about the product,
right?
like you can make the coolest thing in the world, but if nobody knows about it, like it's not going to do that well, right? So
Yeah.
I think
100%.
that's the other part. If you have a founder who's dynamic, who's going to market their product in some way, shape, or form, ideally by showing up themselves to do it, then like that's a huge indicator too. Because like look at all the biggest cryptos, do they have a face attached to them, right? Like even indirectly, you have things like Dogecoin, right? Like Elon's the face of Dogecoin, even though it's clearly not his, right? But like you need those representatives. You need somebody who's standing up to say, hey, this is cool. Not to give any sort of financial advice, and I would never do that, but like to have people on the screen that you can interact with about a specific thing, it's huge for marketing, right? Like anything that doesn't have a face attached to it, like mentally, I tend to push it away as like, oh, this could be a scam, right? So the marketing for present founders, like be it like Charles from Cardano or Richard Hart, like it's a huge difference when they're an actual person to people versus just like
That's true.
a link.
Myself and my friends, certainly people have made a lot of money on Solana, but I can't put a face to Solana. I have no idea who's up at the top. But I can, if you mention, obviously, PulseChain or Ethereum, I can see Vitalik and Richard Hart or whatever it is. But how do we know
For sure.
from the face, like how can we establish trust? Or like how do you know you can trust any of these people? Because crypto has certainly just been rife with not trustworthy people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It attracts actually the non-trustworthy people. So like, how can you tell the face, like, I don't know, what's the third?
I think no one thing is enough. Like based on the screen, it's like there's an advantage because like anybody who does that, if they were trying to run some sort of scam, they'd be more likely to not want to appear on the screen. So it's sort of like a base indicator. But I think you have to combine that with time and a track record. And like, does this person keep showing up for work, right? Which is one of the other things I look for when I look at cryptos. It's like, okay, who's the founder? When's the last time he posted something, right? Like, was it 2 years ago? Like, are they, do they continuously show up for work? Do they keep interacting with the audience? Because like trust is built over time, right? Like, obviously, like, yeah, face on the screen is going to give you a chance to build more trust. And, my wide jaw certainly is going to augment that. But you do have to actually show up and put in the time in order to make it stick, where people will actually start listening to what you say and actually inspect the things you do to see if they're worthwhile.
Yeah, fair enough. That's cool, man. So what are you working on now?
Oh, okay. I am working on upgrades for Ink Printer right now. Ink Printer is a fork of Liquidity, which is probably in my opinion, the most reliable stablecoin protocol there is. So it originated on Ethereum, and it's a way where you can have an over-collateralized stablecoin where you can always redeem $1 of the stablecoin for $1 of the underlying asset. There's some, there's not issues with it, but there's things that I think could be improved. So it's immutable code, meaning the code can't be changed. So there's not like an internal upgrade to the core functionality. So I'm working on some external things to make it better right now. That's my big deal.
Okay, cool.
So it's I got multiple devs teams that I'm working with, and it's it's very much a waiting game sometimes because everything takes time, right? And you don't want to pressure the devs and have them screw something up. But yeah, I'm working on making it better.
Okay, so you made this liquidity fork better is what you did. And how many devs are we talking about? How many devs did it take to do that?
Well, two main devs like to deploy that code, like kind of like a front end dev and a back end dev. It's not super heavy code, and it is somebody else's code, right? So this
Hmm.
was, this is the 39th fork of Liquidity that I know of, right? It's been forked many times because it is a very good stablecoin
Okay.
protocol, and the
Okay.
code is not that complicated, right? As far as these things go, like two fucks that I worked on with Yellowcake,
Hmm.
like it has like 43 contracts, right?
Hmm.
Liquidity
Hmm.
has much fewer. It's much simpler by comparison. But that being said, it's like it has to be perfect because you're talking about stable coins, right?
Hmm.
So that's where forking existing code that is very battle tested, and we still did like an audit and everything on our forked version of it, even though there's minimal changes to the actual code. But like it's super important that like a stable coin remains stable. So yeah, to have like good devs that you trust, and then follow it up with audits to get other devs to audit your devs, basically is how that works.
Hmm.
Is yeah, definitely key with this sort of thing. Some things don't like audits are half advertising. Some things don't necessarily need an audit. This certainly did.
Okay. And how did your audits go for the project?
Good. Yeah, it was all green lights basically. Like there was
Okay.
no, you know, there was nothing of concern in the code. It was all, all straight up green. Um, Being that it was like a, yeah, established code, the auditor like and the devs who were auditing it had audited Liquidity Forks before, so it wasn't they're looking. It makes it easy for them because they just have to look to say, is this the same? Did they add some weird backdoor? Is there a shut off switch and all that kind of stuff? And the answer is no, right? Like there's no backdoors, there's no shut off switch.
Okay.
I couldn't turn this off even if I wanted to.
Okay.
It's just on the blockchain, right?
Okay,
So
cool.
even if there was even if the front end came down, people could interact with it via the console, or another user could put up a front end, which is actually on my roadmap. I'm probably going to provide links to like, oh, here's links to how you could put up a front end for this, so
Mm.
that other users could just deploy that if they wanted to in the future, just to ensure it's decentralized and to ensure that even if a website was down, somebody else could spool one up.
Nice, nice. So the devs have given it approval. Now, as far as for other people to go, if they want to find out about that and learn about like to dig in on that, where do they go to look at that to get that confidence of what was built? Let's say, where do they go look?
Yeah. They could go. I think the ink printer chat that we've linked in here. I have the audits posted there, and so on and so forth. I'm going to post a new set of audits for one of the upgrades very soon as well, which also came back with all green lights recently. So yeah, audits are available upon demand or posted in the Telegram room.
Posted in Telegram, and
Most
then
people,
they're like what's the word, non-biased, or like from someplace that's like a third party.
yeah, yeah, auditors are like, yeah, always a third party. Like they don't work, with your devs. They don't know your devs, and you don't give them typically any interaction with your devs, right? So I didn't even tell the dev team who the auditors were,
Okay,
right?
cool.
Just like, give me the code, I send it here, right? And I get it audited by like a separate dev team, right?
Cool, cool. Chat. Somebody said, bit finesse. With AI, everyone can now read code and spot maliciousness. Is that true? Can you just use AI now?
You can drop things into ChatGPT even, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
other AI agents. I've heard Claude is good. I haven't used it yet. And say, what does this code do? Is there anything malicious in it? Um, it wouldn't be 100%. I think probably you'd find more red flags than actually existed. But I think like on things like tax tokens and stuff, it would often come up with a red flag that wouldn't necessarily be any issue. But like yeah, people can do a lot more now than they could before. That's for sure. And I've done that several times. Like, what are the functions of this contract? ChatGPT has trouble with heavy contracts, right? Like, if you're going to put the code for curve or convex in there, it would probably take it a while to actually figure out what was going on. But with smaller contracts, yeah, it's certainly capable.
And you built on PulseChain, and you chose incentive. So incentive's one of my favorites. Always has been since day one. It's a farm. You know, I'm a farmer. I like to grow things.
Yeah.
It was a farming token. It's for us farmers. So I don't know. Tell me about Ink, man. Why were you drawn to Ink?
Well, Ink's cool because
Was that me, or was that
oh,
you?
my green screen just blew up. It's reversed.
That's right, Katie. Smash those likes. Get them up.
I'm back. As far as ink goes, it's cool because nobody sacrificed for ink, right? Like everybody earned it, and if they still have it from earning it, it means that they either they went out and bought it because they were speculating, or they earned it and never sold it. So it's kind of like a diamond hand bunch of chads that are the big ink holders, especially the big guys, right? Like you have
Yeah.
guys who were in the PulseX farms pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars in ink and still have it, right? So they had every opportunity to sell.
Yeah,
And they
what's going
did.
on? Like, I don't know what it's doing to people. We should be dumping it. That's what everybody told me from the beginning. I started farming in was it PulseChain that first summer? I started farming, and everybody was like, "Dump that, man." And I don't know why I couldn't dump it. I just kept holding it.
Well, I think
why are
like
all these
ink may have
farmers
some
holding it?
secrets. Like that might have been the play, not dumping it.
Yeah.
Though there's something to be said for selling like a reward token, but
Yeah.
like it has code, like it has a lot of code for a token that's just meant as an incentive. Right in the code, it says it could be a DAO token. It actually has code to be a DAO token, like it's built to do that.
Mhm.
So I could see Ink being like the DAO token of the Pulse chain in the future. That would be one of the things that I would watch for. It's like
What's a successful DAO token? Like, why should we care about DAO tokens? What's one that did well or people care about?
quite a few. Like if you think about it, like the Maker token for example is the DAO token.
That's true.
We have we have things that call themselves DAOs, right? That have done well in the past.
Yeah.
There's like Badger DAO and what was another big one? Not slipping my mind, but a lot of things just are DAO tokens. Like
Yeah.
Bouncer is a DAO token.
Oh, okay.
Convex and Curve are DAO tokens. Like it's the best DAO tokens aren't famous for being DAO tokens, and
that's
they likely
true.
have some other functionality.
And
right?
Maker did impressively well from if you had bought early on.
Exactly.
Maker. Yeah. Maker started
Yeah,
what?
so there's
What did
like
Maker
Curve,
start at?
Convex, Balancer.
That's true.
They're all all DAOs, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just DAOs with a financial focus. I think that's what's important. The ones that don't do well are DAO tokens that are voting on like foofy, boring stuff. Like let's change the logo to pink. Like if that's the only thing your DAO token does is allow people to change, like to vote on the color of the logo, then that's not interesting. But if Ink was a DAO token with a financial focus, for example, if you were voting on which LP pair, like which tokens got to be in the next PulseX farm, right? If that was something you did with Ink token, you voted on that. You had to be a holder of Ink, and then you could cast your vote, and there was proportionate value to your vote, and then the votes were counted, and then whoever was the winner ends up being the new farm on PulseX. Like, how much would that be worth, right? And that would follow the same lines of what tokens like Convex and Curve and Balancer do. Is like vote on things that are worth money.
Yeah.
So I can see a bright future for Ink with that. But the main thing right now is that the inflation is down like 99%, right? Like Richard turned off the inflation on Ink. It's went from I can't remember the exact number. If Pedro's in the chat, he'll tell me because he knows. But like right now it's 0.03 ink per second, down from perhaps 1 ink per second or something like that. So it was like a huge reduction in ink that's getting paid out to the farms. There's like there's a big push on the Pulse chain right now to reduce inflation, and that's Richard's push. He reduced the hex inflation by the OA address staking hex on both chains. He reduced pulse inflation by launching pump.tires, and then he reduced ink inflation by reducing it, like literally via like his probably private front end to change the inflation on the PulseX farms. So to the point where people largely pulled out of the farms because they almost weren't paying enough ink for it to be worthwhile, with the exception of probably just a couple of the farms that are paired with stablecoins right now.
It's interesting that he did that. Do you think he was just kept the inflation high to reward people that were early to the chain and participating and doing things, or do you think there's some other mechanics to pulling all this to reducing the inflation and everything?
Well, I think that lever that he can pull, like he's pulling it for a reason. So early on, he had high inflation to incentivize people to provide liquidity.
Okay.
Right now, like he's pulled that inflation way, way, way down. So people are much less incentivized to provide liquidity. And I think he did that on purpose so people would stop providing liquidity, right? So that it would be easier to pump those tokens. So we've had, the liquidity of all the main core tokens, Pulse, Hex, PulseX, and Ink is way down because there's no reason to farm it on PulseX anymore for, most people who understand impermanent loss are going to be like, oh, I'm out of here. So it's 100% on purpose, right? Because he knows the pump is coming and he's capable of making a pump himself, and he can get a way, way bigger pump with less liquidity, right? So It's 100% intentional and 100% effective. Like it totally worked. And when we do get really big pumps, like if a $1 million player comes in and buys any one of those core coins with the current liquidity situation, we'll get multiple more X's than we would have before he reduced ink inflation.
Right on. So he's preparing the chain to move. Would you
100%?
Would you recommend farming now, because the farms did come back on, right?
Well, the farms never turned off. They've always been there.
Yeah.
But like as far as the rate on the farms is the issue, right?
Right.
It went from like, oh, you're making 60% on this and that to making like 0.03% and that sort of thing. It's so when you get down to like under 10% APR, you have to consider impermanent loss as like a major component. So like if you're farming Pulse to Hex, for example, which is one of the farms on PulseX, and you end up taking impermanent loss, which is one of the prices goes up faster than the other, and you end up with more of the token whose price didn't increase as much. Like you need to be rewarded for that risk. And with farm apparatuses like PulseX, like 2Fox, 9-inch, like everything we have on the PulseChain that allows for farming, you're compensated for that risk of impermanent loss. When you're making 300% APR, you can afford to take some impermanent loss. But when you're making 1% APR, like it's almost for sure not worthwhile. So I think on PulseX right now, like the only ones that are paying decent are the ones where they're paired against stablecoins, which is where you take the most impermanent loss, is when you're paired against a stablecoin, because obviously like we're in a bull market. If the price of Pulse goes up and you're paired against DAI from Ethereum, you're going to end up with more DAI, less Pulse, and the price of DAI from Ethereum will never go up. It's going to always be right about $1. So you need to be compensated for that risk, particularly when you have something like Pulse versus a stablecoin. Stables versus stables, that's another story, because you have like very low impermanent loss because they're both worth $1. So that's safe farming, typically paying lower APRs in comparison.
Got you. Cryptographic says he's here for the tech and definitely not for the money.
Oh, sure. Oh, we should talk about the money, because some people, not cryptographics, may have turned up for this. We're doing a giveaway draw today.
Ooh, let's talk about the giveaway.
It will be done live on screen during this show. To enter the draw, all you have to do is join the Ink Printer Telegram room. There's a couple other riders. In the description of this stream, we'll put the link to the Telegram room. Maybe Deercatcher could drop in the chat as well.
Yeah, it's in the description, and at the bottom of the screen, there's telegrams scrolling across the bottom at Ink Printer Chat.
That's it. So join that Telegram room. You have to have a username, right? For your Telegram account. So if you don't have one, add one. You have to have at least three Telegram rooms in common with Fast Abdoul. So, and I have that pinned right in the ink printer Telegram room. So that's to prevent bots and such from engaging and or the promo guys that show up in my Telegram room all the time. But apart from that, you just have to be in the Telegram room. And I have a bot that I'll use to do the draw. We'll do it live on the screen, and yeah, we'll get some winners out of this one way or another.
Yeah, let's do it. Everybody go down there. Can I enter too? Am I allowed to enter?
Let me see. Let me see if you're. Yeah, all you got to do is join the Telegram room, and you're in.
All right, pups. Let's everybody enter the contest right now. Let's go do that. How do I do that?
Yeah, go for it, guys. It's literally just luck. There'll be no skill involved.
I like that.
As long as you.
I don't like things that involve skill. Okay.
And we have three prizes today. So I think we'll probably do the drawing in reverse order. The first prize is $1,000 worth of ink. The second prize is $500 worth of print token, which is the native token of ink printer. And the third prize, which some could argue could be the first prize, is a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, a PulseChain copy. They've sold for up to $1,500 on PulseChain recently. So I think they are, as far as, I'm not a big NFT guy, but I picked up some of those. And I think as far as NFTs on PulseChain go, like the actual copies, P copies of Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, there's less on the PulseChain than there will ever be on Ethereum. And they're available on Pulse Market. You can check them out.
Somebody's
got a lot of dinks here.
Kingsway, there's two winners, right?
Three
winners.
Yeah. So it'll be the $1,000 in ink, $500 in print token, and then a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and anybody in the Telegram room is eligible. Even my admins who are unpaid, they're also eligible. So just if you're in there and you meet the criteria of having 3 Telegrams and rooms in common with Fast Abdoul.
How many admins do you have?
Good question.
What? You don't even, he has so many he doesn't even know? And he doesn't have to pay them?
Well, I have multiple Telegram rooms. It adds up. I think I have about 6 in ink printer right now.
6?
Including some characters you probably recognize, like Deercatcher and or Deerslayer and Frank White, for example.
Damn.
I have seven administrators.
Damn, this is crazy. And you don't even have to pay them. All my admins, I got to pay them. They're all on salary.
That's right. Yeah, no, unpaid interns.
Damn.
That's how we roll.
That's amazing.
Being an admin is, I'm an admin in lots of people's Telegram rooms that are not my own. It's a good way to, just stay in touch with what's going on. And if you like something and you want to help it out, right? If you're an admin in a Telegram room and you can catch scammers and stuff like that, it helps. And I like having multiple people who live in multiple different time zones. Like especially Australians. Australians are like the best commodity for admins because they're definitely awake when I'm asleep, right?
That's really annoying. Those damn Australians. They got to be down under their timing.
Yeah, but they make it all. They make up for it with being good admins.
Good admins. Nice. Let's see. Frank White says Fast Abdoul gets paid in other ways. And Deerslayer's already, see, my admin's already asking for raises. This guy wants to raise already.
Oh, and there we go. But we don't want to set too high a standard here, right?
Ryan wants to be put on the payroll. Now they're coming at me.
Yeah, they're looking to get paid.
Everybody wants to get paid. Yo, Hex TC, what's going on?
I started out like my learning being an admin in a bunch of Telegram rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I spent the most time in the Internet Money Telegram room with KG and
Yeah,
Don,
yeah.
and
I like
that
KG.
was a great place to learn, right?
Cool.
It was like high traffic Telegram room. You're helping people use their wallets, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're and a lot of like hunting for scammers there because obviously wallets are a target.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was a great experience. I still am in like I don't know Power City Telegram room, a bunch of different Telegram rooms. It's definitely a good way to just keep in touch with what's actually going on.
Cool, cool. So now ink printer, and by the way, if you want to share the screen, just let me know. We can kick over
Yeah, you bet.
and open some stuff up. I mean, for now, I can go to start with chart of ink. We can go look at it. But you are the team. You mentioned Power City. I know you worked with a lot of different people in the past. I'm not familiar with any of these those protocols at all in Power City. I don't even know what they do actually. But do you still work with these groups, and are they involved in this project, Ink Printer, or is this only you and your devs?
Ink printer is just me and my devs, but Power Cities work with me on the upgrade that I'm doing. So we have like a liquid stake print, and they helped us develop the contract for that, right?
Okay.
Because they also have two liquidity forks. They have Earn and Flex that use Hex and PulseX for collateral. So any upgrade that happens to Ink printer, they'd be very interested in seeing that, like if it works and if it works here, it will work there. So yeah, they're helping me with some upgrades. I'm also working with the Hocus Pocus team. They did the Farming Wizard, all right, and they're working on some upgrades
Wait,
for me as
can
well.
you go back one
So it's
second? Why is
yeah.
what they do, what you do over here going to work over there?
Well, because like Ink Printer is a liquidity fork that uses ink as collateral.
Uh huh.
Earn is a liquidity fork that uses PulseX as collateral,
Mm-hmm.
and Flex is a liquidity fork that uses Hex on PulseChain as collateral. So
Mm,
like
okay.
they're literally like almost the same products, right?
Mm-hmm.
The tokenomics are the same. We can even look at their tokens and be like, oh, okay, this is very similar, right?
Right. Right.
They're but they have the same general problems. Like I made a couple tweaks that they don't have. Before the upgrades that are coming out, there's still a couple small changes, but like mostly it's the exact same thing, just different collaterals. So
Mm-hmm.
if I do something that works for Ink Printer, then like the Power City team could, we could talk about it and maybe they turn on a similar thing. So that's why they help with the liquid staking contract, which isn't a heavy contract, but like it's like when you have other devs from other teams who will help you with stuff, that's handy. That's one of the benefits of doing things like being an admin for people in other Telegram rooms and not being a huge dick in general, right? Is people will work with you. Like the builders on Pulse Chain are you know, like not everybody gets along, but they're pretty tight group, right? Like
Yeah.
they help each other out with the big things. Even somebody that you generally don't like, you would help with a big thing if it was important, right? Like if it was like, oh, there's a scam everybody needs to be aware of. This is the way you do this. Here's a RPC if you have this problem. Like it's very easy to get that information from other builders.
Right.
But to
Right.
have somebody actually work on a contract with you is an even bigger deal.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. We got ink is buck 81.
Bit of a dip yesterday, eh?
Did a breakout. Yeah, well, it broke out of a major resistance area, and it's just coming back to do a nice retest. It's all really completely normal. Looks really nice. Very bullish. Let's see what's going on here. Let's come up the weekly. Let's see what we've done here. It looks good, and we've been certainly we're bullish. We're not out of trouble yet. We're coming here to get this nice juicy retest. It's good. I suppose a lot of this just comes down to maybe the macro, and is Ethereum stalling out, or is it going to continue giving strength to the altcoin market? You guys have seen
Oh
all.
well, does that ink chart line up with Ethereum right now?
Well, I think, yeah. I think let me come here. Yeah, ETH's pulling back as well. ETH has been pulling back, which is fine.
You're still feeling bullish overall, though, eh?
There's no reason to not be bullish right now, except for speculation. Like, there's nothing specifically that would tell you, you know, it's easy to get caught up in fundamentals or like globally what's happening in news and things like that. And yeah, there's issues, of course, but there's always issues, right? But when you just look at charts in general, there's no reason to not think we're bullish unless you have problems in some bigger charts like DJT, transportation index, gold silver ratio, which is a good warning indicator, a chart to watch. And if you see rallies in the market, fading pretty quickly, I'll be honest, this is my take. You guys, the reason I don't delete stuff is because I do all my TA online, so you guys see everything I do raw. You see all my thinking, you see all my drawing, my I do multiple charts, and you guys get to see it all. So I don't need to hide anything because you guys have already seen me do all. I drew this live quite a few weeks ago. I think I drew this when we were back here at the end of March. So it's been probably like 6 weeks at least when I drew this, and I drew that it was going to do this. And you can see that, I didn't get the exact height of every move and what have you, but pretty much did that. And I really did think we would be rejected from this high. Obviously it's not to scale, but I put this third move up was higher, and you got this third move up is higher. And I think when I drew it down here off this support. But you can see we moved a little more with more strength than I anticipated, but still same thing. Same structure as what I drew, very similar. And then I said we'd come back down to wherever that support is, and we'd come back down and test one of these levels, okay? So there'd be 86, or based on where I drew it before, was going to be down here somewhere off that line. And we've traced a lot of it perfectly. Now, if the market remains bullish, which everything is seemingly bullish, since then ETH is done. I drew that before ETH did what we're seeing here. This is May, but I think I drew this back here in March. So now the story is a little bit different. You've got ETH is breaking up. You are retesting. We're looking good, though this could turn into distribution. We've got to see. If this breaks down over here and then comes back up, we're going to have trouble. 1, 2, 3. This needs to continue and stay strong above here. But everything else in the market is bullish, right? I think people are looking at, or why people have fear is, one, maybe people watch the news. I don't watch the news, but obviously we do know there's some issues. But if I go to my chart of the, where's the rally? Is this one? Yeah, where we're in this channel going all the way back to, if you go back, oops, that's a little much. If you go back to October of 2022, we started this channel. Oh, it looks like my chart got a little thrown off here. Sorry. Let's see if I can fix this. What happened here? So you can see this channel. We're still in it. Nothing is broken. Even when we came in and we wicked out of it a little bit, we've wicked out of it a little bit before here and there. It's not a big deal. You see, we wicked out. We got right back in this channel. You can see it, okay? And once again, this is another thing I drew, I think 6 weeks ago when I did the ink, I drew this. So we are moving great. We're looking really good. I think that people were caught up in the fact that we have to turn over because of inflation and a tariff war. Now, tariffs are deflationary in the sense that they will bring down demand. They are demand-destroying factors in the market.
For sure.
Okay, prices are going to go up, and the market has to absorb that and figure out exactly who's going to pay for it. Obviously, the consumer is going to pay for a lot of it, but that's going to cause a slowdown in demand and manufacturing. That's without a doubt. But they can work out the tariffs. As you see, everything's over, and then now everything's working out. So it may not be as bad as people think, or they may drag it out so long that the market can absorb it slowly, as opposed to just having some big issue. Look, they have a lot of levers to pull. Just because things look bad doesn't mean the market is going to reflect that yet or for a very long time.
Totally. Like those tariffs are levers, right?
They are
Trump
levers.
has used those levers to
Yeah.
to crash the market and then bring it back up,
Yeah.
possibly to get his buddies in.
Yeah, and I was saying before that because we've moved up so impulsively, and things do look bullish across everything. ETH, we talked about ETH a lot on this channel. I was the one who was saying at 37, where were we? We were right here. I was live with Pedro in December. Was it this one? Yeah, we broke this line right here. It was December 10th. I was the one who called ETH at 3,700. I said, we're fucked. And I didn't say that on stream, but I remember that stream. It was like coming up to Christmas, and I was like, yeah, we're in trouble, guys. And because we broke that right there. And I said, you can't break that there on a bullish breakout of this move. You can't do that. That much volume. You can't. Something's wrong. I'm like, we're in trouble. And I'll never forget that stream because everyone was like, because we were really bullish then. And I was like the bad guy. But we've been going down since then. We retested it, rejected, retested it again, and then it was all game over for ETH. And then we've been down here forever. Okay, we even came all the way to 1355. And thank God we didn't break that because it starts to get really messy after that. So, and then this is beautiful. I mean, certainly it's an impulsive move, but it's covered a lot of ground and it's got us up above a lot of resistance. And that's what matters really at the end of the day. I mean, look where we are. We're back to where we were in February. And this is amazing. This is amazing. So now there's still a pretty big piece above us, okay, hanging out right here. There's a ton of confluence. It's a support line going all the way back for this whole big muck. Okay, this whole big mess, it's dancing on this line right here. And this line meets right here at the 300, okay? And that's exactly where we were rejected. Look at that. So that's why you should always do your own TA, by the way. I always draw my own lines because my lines always end up meeting somewhere that matters a lot. So that's why I have these lines. And they don't look like they make sense, but they do. And look what's happening right now. The 300 is crashing right into that resistance, right where we were rejected. So we got to get above that. And that is exactly at 2680, okay? And we've come down, we've wicked down to 2474, and we're hanging out right now, 2535. We need to get above 2680 and close above that to be officially on our way, okay? 2680. So maybe that's why there's some fear. Obviously, we've been rejected. That's normal. You're not going to probably get up it. After a move like this, you're going to have to come back a little bit. Maybe we go sideways, and we're going to make some other attempts to get above that, right? So let's see what happens. But there's nothing in the chart saying, hey, we're not bullish, except the fact that everything's just high, overvalued. And what's the word? The PE ratios are extraordinarily high right now, but they can stay high.
Like it's overbought, is what you're saying?
They're overvalued. Everything's overvalued. Yeah, without a doubt. Buffett indicators off the charts, PE's off the chart, but doesn't mean it can't stay there for a long time. It could be there for another 6 months, which is enough time to have a bull run because bull runs are about 1,100 days apart on average, give or take 1,500 days. So that would put us at October of 2026 if we were to have a technical, this cycle plays out just like normal. Okay. And I think a few weeks ago I said we're going to have a crazy altcoin season in 4 to 12 months, and I don't know which one it's going to be. And if we stay bullish now, it looks like it's going to be the 4 months because that would mean that probably by fall, Bitcoin's going to top out in October if it's a normal cycle, and we're going to have a crazy alt season, October, November, December into the new year. And well, let's see if that's what plays out. And so all these indicators can stay cranked for a long time. All these, that's why they say the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent because it's irrational. There's no reason for things to be valued where they are necessarily right now, right? If we're going to go into some stagflation, that's not necessarily great either. But like I said, we said a few minutes ago, they have a lot of levers they can pull, and tariffs are part of this, to slow us down and then to speed us back up. And they have a lot of these levers are constantly moving around to keep us on track. The only thing that's really going to stop this market would be something that would happen, right? But nobody can predict what that is. I'm sure the elites know when that would be, or the banks know. Well, we're not going to know. We're not going to know. So you can't really play that card, right? You just kind of do your due diligence, and you put in what you can put on the table, and you keep some in your pocket, and you keep a little bit under your sleeve, and like whatever, where your risk tolerance is for you. It's about risk management right now, but the bull run's on. Everything's good. We can look really quick at what did tech do today. Let's go to SPX. I mean, look at this gap up is insane. Now, this gap up doesn't mean we're going to all-time highs yet. We'd like to see the gap filled. This could definitely be, luring people in. You could be making also a massive head and shoulders type looking thing, but this is pretty good. I mean, we could come backfill right here just to give you an idea on the S&P. This is the Liberation Day right here. Oops, don't move that, buddy. Liberation Day is right here, okay? So when we fell away, we came up, we retested it, we got a little rejected, and then we exploded above it. So
pump past it, yeah.
That's as bullish gets, right? Now, it's not an all-time high. We're not going. We still have to get above here, but we're going to come back and do a retest, and we'll find out if we hold above all this resistance, which should be support now. We've cleared it by a lot. We should come back, retest it, and then ideally, we should go off to the races, right? And what we don't want to see.
That would be nice.
What we don't want to see is come back here, bounce, and roll over, right? And start doing this kind of shit. So we'll look for that. But the market's bullish. And ETH needs to get above, what did I say, 2680? I think that's probably
2680.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what big money or a lot of people are looking for. The same thing I'm looking at, probably right there. We need to get above that. But I mean, look at
I know a guy who has a lot of ETH, so I think he'd be happy if it pumped over 2680.
He would be. We can go look. I think I have that up. Is the name Richard Hart? Because I have this guy right here who's got a lot of ETH.
That's the guy. I know him too.
Okay. Well, this guy's got a lot of ETH, and he is down 211 million. So he's got a little bit of work to do here, but looking good. It's heading in the right direction for him.
His break even's like just under $4,000.
There it is. Look at that. Now, technically, you see this line here, this bright blue line?
Yeah.
So if I draw a line, that's a line I had on my chart that goes across the screen. Okay? Where'd you go? Did I just delete you off the stream? Oh, there you are. You're back.
I was under there.
So that's this line here, okay, that I've drawn. So that is a resistance right now. It's a major resistance. You can see it very clearly here. It would be under this. Very bright blue. And what are we doing right now? Fast Abdoul, got to toss you again. We're coming up right to test it. So the first test usually going to have a rejection. The question is, do we have the power to pop above there and stay? Yeah? That's what we're going to find out. So this is normal, I mean, to come up and want to retest that right now, right?
See what you're saying?
If I flip this over, and sorry, this is my work chart, so you guys are not seeing a nice clean, nice
Lots
chart.
of lines.
Yeah, lots of lines everywhere. These were, well, what happened is he started dropping. I had to add more lines, and I was like, you know what? I better just add them all because we're just smashing one after the other. So I ended up adding a lot of lines. Make them a little thinner, though. We probably don't need them that juicy. No, we need them a little juicy. I need to see what progress we're making. So look, look at this big juicy W here, right? Now, it's very normal move what it did to come up, to shoot up. Okay, we did get a retest here, and we really blasted off, and then it hooked over. I mean, this could be normal to just retest it like this, and we don't want to see this. And obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. But we may get a juicy pullback. You know what I mean? Give people a chance. Market likes to give people a chance to rethink their decisions, to make you wonder if you did the right thing or wonder if you're doing the wrong thing, right? That's where you mess up. It pulls back, and it pulls back a little more than you wanted, and then you wonder like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we're going into a recession or whatever. It gives you time to what's the word? Psych yourself out, right? Or psych yourself in if you are convicted. You're like, you know what? No, I'm going to add to my position, right? And then you get that juicy pullback, you add more, and we go. So So maybe this is done, because the ETH BTC, I'll flip it over. There you go. You can see that, right? So we are retesting this right now, and we're going to find out. Let's look at that.
And the Ethereum ratio versus BTC is going up too, right?
Yeah, we're going to look at that.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so were you here, the live I did the other night? Oh, Pups, by the way, we have 555 people watching right now, but only 7 likes. 555 people watching. So reach down, reach forward, and touch it. Touch it firmly.
You can do it.
Do it. Touch it firmly. Touch it very firmly, but not too hard. Not too hard. Just firmly. Gently. Gently, if you have one of those.
Tap it. Tap it.
Yeah, tap it, tap it, tap it. Let's see if we get a few. Oh, look at that. Oh, we got some jeeters. Some people left the stream. Good. So now I can tell you what I really wanted to tell you. Satoshi overloaded. Excellent. Discount, sir. Yo, RH Max. Where's RH Max? RH Max, what's up, bro? How you doing? What's going on? Squiggly lines.
Hey, Max.
Dude.
10 more likes and we'll do a contest draw. How about that?
Yeah, we need to get the like, dude. We got to get the likes above, well above 100 before we do the contest draw. Got to, right? Pup, smash that like button if you guys want to win some prizes. All right. Only having a threesome. What? No issue, I guess, multiple obsession. ETH 2200. Yeah, you think a pullback 2200? Yeah, there could be a very juicy pullback there. It makes a lot of sense. It gives people that opportunity to rethink their decisions. Some people will sell, get scared out of their position, what have you. That's good. That's really healthy stuff, right? And you've had an impulsive move. Deerslayer, what's up? That's right. Telegram at SAINTwolf Vision. I wasn't looking at. Okay, so let me show you this really quick. So this was the ETH BTC ratio in 2019. Okay, and I did this the other. You can see this nice juicy W. Okay, at the bottom. Okay, before we went see, and look how big this pullback is, right?
Huge.
Do you see that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you something.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, let me show you something. I want to show you guys something. So look, it came down here to 0.016 was the ETH BTC ratio. Okay, so it's very weak to BTC. The price of ETH was very weak to BTC. And from that bottom in 2019, ETH moved up 43%. That's just, it says 42 here because I didn't draw it from the wick, but trust me, it's 43%. I've done this a lot of times. It went up 43%, and then what did it do? And then from that wick, it dropped again 27% before it really went, okay? And so I've been saying for a little while, we could get a W down here. And if you measure the move from the bottom wick, the ETH BTC ratio this time in 2025 came down to 0.0177, so almost the same, okay? And then it has come up 47%, okay? In 2019, it came up 43%. It's come up 47% from the low of 0.017. So I'm just speculating that, okay, once again, I'm just looking left. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going, what did it do before? Oh, it went up 43%. It dropped 27%. Okay, we've gone up 47%. Maybe we're going to have a 20, 25, 30% drop from here, okay? Then we'll get that double bottom, and hopefully it'll be off to the races, right? I'm just, if it does what it did before, right? But if this is the bottom, it may duplicate or replicate what we've done here before because it was successful, it worked. The reason a lot of these things get repeated in markets is because they're effective at taking the most amount of money from the most amount of people, changing hands, really. You know what I mean? It works. That's why the Wyckoff patterns work. That's why double bottoms work. They have a psychological effect on us, right? They scare, they put fear in the easily frightened, and they put confidence in the strong, right? It moves money from the weak hands to the strong hands. So there's a chance we do repeat a similar pattern again, right? You can already see we're being rejected there. Maybe we do come down and go up. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is why these Ws do this move. If you look at this, it's so funny. We're just looking at, here's the ETH BTC ratio, okay? So I'm going to just draw a line. I'm not going to do anything fancy at all. If I go here to the 12-hour, this candle will break up, okay? So I'm just going to assume the breakup's there. But we can go look at it a little closer. Well, I'm just going off experience, but let's just break up the candle. But you guys, smash the like button if you guys appreciate this alpha. I'm going to show you guys, like, just look. So exactly where I drew it, I could tell from the candle, look, right there on a break, right? So I'll just tweak it just slightly. There you go. Got a line coming down. And yeah, it didn't even come all the way down, did it? Go down here. Okay, interesting. All right, so there you go. So you got this W pattern right there. Nothing special about it. Okay. Came up, did a little retest, then continued up, then came down, did a massive retest. Didn't quite touch the line, but, you know, still a retest. And there you go, right? So when people are waiting for certain levels to clear, which would be that line, I'm going to go back now to the ETH chart, and it'll make sense to you guys. They're seeing the things that we see when we look at these big patterns, right? So when I flip this over, what do you see? Doesn't it look exactly like that ETH BTC ratio? Right? These patterns just play out over and over again in crypto, right? So here's a W. Okay, we came up, we did the little retest, and then we come up, and now we're doing the big retest, okay? And we want to see if it gets on the other side of this line or not. Okay, and I'll come back here. What was that? Where did I do it? Come here, buddy. Did I draw it on this one? Oh, this one, okay. Okay. Yeah.
I have to step out for 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Been flipping everything over too many times. Okay. So. Yo, who's that? Jim Cork, what's up, brother? Smash the like button. Okay, check it out. So I'm back here to the ETH BTC ratio, and I can show you a small version. We just did this, right, in front of you guys, right? So I drew this W. We had to break out, had a mini retest, and the big move, and it came down to retest this line. And in this situation, for that was benefit of this bull run, we continued the trend, okay? It didn't get over this line, okay? It didn't get over this line, retest, and go this way, right? Now, when I come back to the ETH chart, sorry, I have to keep, these are really very different charts, but the pattern's the same. I have to flip it over, so I'm going to flip it over, and you can still see this W, just like the ETH BTC, came up, retest on this line, the breakout line, and we can probably... Doesn't really matter how you want to play with it, and it's still going to come over here to the same thing. We're here, and we need to find out if we're going to get above it or we're going to just do a continuation, okay? But this is obviously flipped over, right? But it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern, and it could do either one. There's no rule here that has to do one over the other, okay? That's why these are just probabilities, but you recognize these patterns very quickly. And you can see what it's done before, so you know what's possible and what could happen. It's the same pattern. It's just the inverse on the ETH chart versus the ETH BTC ratio here, right? So, you know, there it is. So in this situation, it continued the trend. In our situation, we don't want a continuation of the trend. We don't want it to continue to. We don't want to be rejected. We want it to do the opposite of what it did, but it's the exact same pattern. It's the exact same pattern, and it's just the probability, you know. What it did in the ETH BTC ratio in 2019, well, it got rejected, right? And this made the bull run happen. In our situation, if this happens, the bull run, well, kind of ends for altcoins. It would be bad. So we actually want it to go this way. We want it to come back, retest 2200, makes a lot of sense. And then inverse head and shoulders, you'll probably create one of those right here and start moving to the upside. Pretty simple. Let's do TA on the like chart. Dude, we didn't even get to 100 likes. We were offering, Fast Abdoul was offering you guys free money, and well, we got a little bit of nibbling on the like button, but we got some more viewers. All the new people, welcome to the channel, welcome to the show. We're doing a bit of a deep dive today on ink and ink printer by Fast Abdoul, but still, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Ryan D. the likes you.
Let's give him a sample of a prize. I'm sharing the NFT picture that we will be giving away after we get over 100 likes.
Okay, cool. Let's bring it up.
It's a official Board 8 Yacht Club NFT. Pulse copy. Only one in existence.
Okay, there you go. We're above 100. Perfect timing. Where is your...
Oh, cool.
Where are you at? Oh, there you are. Okay, cool.
Nope.
That's weird.
There we are.
Okay.
As far as NFTs go, on PulseChain, I really like the copied like blue chip NFTs from Ethereum. It's like it's unique to PulseChain, but we know it was worth like, whatever these were worth on Ethereum, $1 million. Board 8 yacht clubs were like the best. There it is.
There we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that guy. So that's the one we'll be giving away. One recently sold for $1 million. No, for about $1,500 on Pulse Market. Look at the detail on this. It's got the leopard print. It's got the Russian hat, the green jacket.
Dude, you're giving
These
this
are
away?
Yeah. This is the very one.
Hit the likes, you animals. Subscribe to the channel. This is huge.
Then, once again, in order to enter, you just have to join the Ink Printer Telegram room and have at least 3 Telegram groups in common with Fast Abdoul. I'm in pretty much not all, but most PulseChain rooms. I'm in like 1,500 Telegram rooms. So if you're involved in the PulseChain, there's a very good chance we have 3 Telegram rooms in common. Only been banned in a couple rooms where they didn't like my ideas, but majority on there.
Which ideas were those?
No, it's about prices of things and code and stuff like that.
Dude, your ink printer Telegram is lit.
Yeah. Let's see. I haven't looked at it. I had to turn it off because there's so much dinging. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got lots of new members here.
A lot of activity going on.
Cool.
What's the other groups I have to join?
Well, you're definitively good. You have multiple Telegram rooms with me. But if you were in the Hex Telegram room, the PulseChain Telegram room, the PulseX Telegram room, for example, I would be in all of those. Yeah, SAINTwolf Vision, SAINTwolf Pub, that would be enough right there. If you're in the ink printer room and then both of SAINTwolf's Telegram rooms, we would have 3 in common. The 2Fucks Telegram room, it's linked right in my Telegram bio.
Oh, by the way, I was reading comments in your Telegram. That was a gentleman named David asking that in there. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah. I'm reading. Ben says, "Be great to win something for a change." David said, "What other telegrams?" Right.
I can see that I'm clicking on the people that joined, and it looks like the ones I've clicked on all have at least
I will tuck every ink token
3 Telegram rooms in common with me. They should be good.
D
but basically,
says,
if you're
D says, "I will tuck every ink token to bed every night if I win."
I hope you do, buddy.
Crypto Dread says, thanks, Abdul.
Hey, no problem. It's just for fun, guys. We actually made this announcement like before Ink Printer launched that we'd be doing this, and I'm just making good on the promise. Got cryptographics in there. Yeah, all the important players have joined the room.
Nice.
Should we do a draw?
Should we do it, or should we? What do you want to do? Should we wait?
Well, we could do. We have 3 draws.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do
one.
it. Let's do one. Let's do one for everyone who's here now because you guys earned it. You guys were here early. Word's just getting out, but yeah, let's do one for you guys, the early group here. Should we put some draw music on?
Okay, I'm gonna rev up my bot.
Okay, let's put on some draw music.
Yeah.
Press that like button and enjoy the show. That's right. Who's that? Susie Q, what's happening? Good to see you. Bringing the hearts.
And I should mention before I do the first draw, it's posted in the Telegram room all the rules. So 3 groups in common with Fast Abdoul, and you have to have a username on your Telegram account, right? It stops people from spamming it, keeps some scammers up. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share a new screen.
Okay.
So we can get the bot going.
If I, okay, in the front hump of my tallest cable.
Okay, this is for the 3rd prize. Bored Ape Club NFT. PulseChain version.
Oh, that's weird.
Bots revving up.
Bots revving up. Yeah, that's weird. What's that? Oh, no way.
There we go.
すみません。
Okay. Are we
Game over.
Let's select the winner. Should we press the button, Wolf?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's press the button.
Okay. Number of winners 1. Bang.
Who's going to win?
Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Yusuf was won a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT.
ゲームオーバ
Congratulations, Yusuf. You've won a Bored Ape Yacht Club on PulseChain. Congratulations, man. Why are my buttons?
Yeah, and Yusuf has the required 3 groups in common with Fast Abdoul.
Wow,
So
Yusuf.
FYI, guys, I'm gonna post this in the chat, the winners. But I'm not gonna DM anybody. So if you're getting DMs from Fast Abdoul, you should be concerned. Just watch the chat, and after I post it, then you can contact me via the chat, and we'll make arrangements to, in this case, transfer an NFT to you. But no matter who contacts you, you never give out your seed phrase. You never give out your private keys. You only would ever if you win a contest, you only ever share a public wallet address that you have.
Yes.
You don't share anything else. You don't have to tell your name. You don't have to KYC anything. Public wallet address. So congratulations to Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Yusuf has won. And
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. There he is. Yusuf.
He's got a great bio picture.
You did great, brother.
You did it, Yusuf.
You got the one we all wanted. What's up, Georgie? How's it going? Congratulations, Yusuf, man. So we got 2 more prizes to go, pups. Don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Go to Ink Printer now as well. You need to be part of the group to win. So,
yep. Next prize will be $500 worth of print tokens.
dang.
So at the current rate. And after that, it'll be $1,000 worth of ink. So, and for just for clarity, when I say $500 and $1,000, it'll be $500 and $1,000 at the time when I send it to you. So if it takes 24 hours, if you don't contact me for 7 days, then whatever it is, at that time is when I'll do the calculation of the value. As fair as I can make it. Got to be in the Telegram rooms to win.
Gotta be in Telegram.
Should we take a look at the ink printer protocol? Maybe show some of the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Let's pull it up. Let's take a quick 2-minute. Yeah. But actually, Fast, you can bring it up if you want. I'm going to take a 2-minute. And I will be right back.
Sure, sounds good. So if you guys want to follow around, I won't share the screen until Wolf gets back, but we'll be going to inkprinter.com.
I can throw up the screen. And you want me to? Or
okay.
Yeah. Let's pull up the screen so you can.
Yeah. Let me. Let me throw it up. The right tab.
Yo, is the music too loud, or how you guys doing? It's hard for me to tell sometimes.
No, this is good.
Okay. Who's that? Can I wait for the next bottom to claim if I win? 56,000. Oh, for 500. Yeah, you'd win almost 60,000.
$500.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, where are we at? Okay, you got the screen. Yeah. Okay. Wait, is it being crushed though? You're not seeing it, right?
Let me take a look.
Why isn't it giving me the? Do you need the whole thing? You need the whole thing, right? Like that. Yeah, there you go.
I can zoom in and out a bit on it to move it around.
Yeah, you should do that as you need, but I'll give you the whole screen so you have it. What's wrong with this? Oh yeah, it's pretty wide. Okay.
There we go. Cool. So anyway, guys, we're at inkprinter.com. That's incprinter.com. So fork of liquidity for the PulseChain that uses ink as collateral to mint a stablecoin. The stablecoin is called INCD. One of the cool features that I think is one of the safer plays for new users in particular is that you have single-sided staking for the stablecoin. So right now paying 24.43% APR, which is pretty good for stablecoin only, and it's not even a liquidity pair. It's literally single-sided staking the stablecoin inside the protocol. When you do that, you're earning print token. That's where that APR comes from. But you also get bonus APR in the form of ink tokens if there's any liquidations inside the protocol. Liquidations happen when a vault goes under 110% collateralization ratio. We don't have any vaguely close to that right now. The lowest vault is 289% collateralization ratio. With the price of ink going up, people tend to find that their collateral ratio goes up to a very healthy extent. Overall average for the protocol is 486%, which is pretty healthy indeed. Happy with that. We can see here that there's 2.79 million ink tokens. That's a little over 5% of the actual total count of ink right now, I think. It's worth over $5 million. That's what's locked in the protocol right now. So this is something that locks up ink, right? So it's in my opinion, bullish for the price of ink because people will lock up ink to get ink dollars. They can always get their ink back. You can redeem one ink dollar for $1 worth of ink. But the fact that they're here, that they're sitting in here, I think is bullish versus just having it sit in people's wallets, where they can press the sell button at any time. So as far as the APR goes, that's that's just one pool. So that's the one that is just stable coins. But there's another pool that's stables versus stables. So you can farm ink dollars versus DAI from Ethereum. It's actually paying a little bit less right now, 19.42%, except for you get compounding in that pair because it's a pair on PulseX V2, right? So you're pairing ink dollars against DAI from Ethereum, and they'll be compounding inside that pair. You'll end up with both more ink dollars and more DAI. So that's not a bad play either. You know, there's some big whales in that pool. There's a bunch of liquidity for ink dollars. I think we're over $400,000. Let me double check in just the main pool. And there's also some V3 pools on 9mm as well. 580K liquidity for the ink dollar right now. So it's looking pretty healthy for this stage in development. There'll likely be some new pools and farms added on Fux and 2Fux in the future as well. Then the highest paying farm that's available right on the front end is to do print, that's the native token, versus ink, right? So again, that's a PulseX V2 pair. That's paying almost 114%. This is higher risk, right? Because you're pairing volatile assets against volatile assets. Though recently many people have done very well in this pool because the price of ink pumped along with the price of the price of print got pulled up by the price of ink, because that's the main pair here is print versus ink. So 113% APR and change. That's not terrible in my opinion. But the bottom line here is like all you need to participate with the protocol is ink. You don't have to run out and buy the print token. You can get that for free by using the protocol. And when you open a vault, which you do at this top section here, you have to put in, the minimum is $500. You want to put in probably more than that to have a healthy collateralization ratio. But like you can put in ink, you take out ink dollars, and then you can stake them, and then you can get print tokens for free. And then once you have print tokens, you could either participate in this farm here, making 113% APR, or you can actually stake your print tokens directly with the protocol right here. And that allows you to get a piece of every dollar that's minted by the protocol, as well as when anybody redeems, which means they inside the protocol swap one ink dollar for $1 worth of ink, you get ink. So staking print tokens will pay you in ink tokens, probably more than PulseX is paying right now. And it will also pay you in ink dollars, right? Which are redeemable for ink. So this whole thing is a machine designed to give you more ink. That's the game, and I believe it's working well. We have a 99-cent stablecoin right now. It's been up and down from the dollar, but it's usually in that range of 98 point some cents to a dollar point some cents. It is doing what it's supposed to do. It is a stable coin. The reason it's stable is because there's a ceiling and a floor, right? So if it goes under a dollar, you can buy it off the market and redeem it for $1 worth of ink. If it goes over a dollar, then people who have the vaults here can mint it and sell it down to a dollar, and you would sell it into another stablecoin. That happened more very early on. We won't see as much of that, but it will surely be between $1.01 and $1.05 at some time in the future. Just when somebody's, $580,000 worth of liquidity isn't that much for a stablecoin. So if somebody buys $100,000 worth of ink dollars, it would pump the price. And the same if they sell it, right? But if they sell it, there's a mechanism to pull it back up. And if they buy it and it goes too high, there's a mechanism to pull it back down. So that's the stablecoin is made. Any questions, Mr. Wolf? Your audio's off.
Yeah. Hello. Somebody said it sounds similar to liquid loans. Is that very similar to how their protocol also works?
Extremely similar. Like their liquid loans is a fork of Liquidity as well, right?
Oh, okay.
So it would work almost the same. The big differences are, of course, we have ink as collateral instead of Pulse, right? So that's the main thing. But the other difference is that with liquid loans, the minimum vault size is $2,000, right? Meaning right now, if you want to have a decent collateralization ratio, you'd have to put in at least $4,000 or $6,000 for the Pulse. Whereas with Ink Printer, the same as with Earn and Flex protocols, the minimum vault size is $500. So relatively, and you want to, again, you want to go in with at least $1,000 to stay at a safe ratio. But there's, definitely it's very reasonable to come in with, a couple grand here, and you can participate with the protocol. And like, you're getting leverage on your ink, right? Because you're putting in ink, you're pulling out dollars, but that ink is still tied to your wallet. So you can pay off your vault at any time. If you put in, let's say, 10 grand worth of ink and you took out $5,000, and then the price of ink doubled, right? Your 10 grand is now worth 20. You could take out another $5,000 and you're at the same collateralization ratio. If it doubles again, right? It goes from $20,000 to $40,000. You can now take out $10,000 and you're at the same collateralization ratio. And whenever you want to, you can, with the same ink dollars you took out, which you could single side stake through the protocol and make decent, 24% APR. But you could pay off your vault and then you can take your ink back. So you could be putting in 10 grand of ink today, and when that ink is worth 100 grand that you put in, all you have to do is pay back the initial 10 grand if you didn't take out any more after that, right? Like it's 0% interest loan against your ink. So definitely some leverage potential, safer leverage in my opinion than the kind of pro trading that you probably do sometimes, Wolf. But it still is leverage. So it's important that people understand these things. I think only
it's trading. Yeah. It's trading. There's risk, of course. It is leverage, and you have to understand that going into this. Of course, you're making a bet. At the end of the day, the price should be higher. If it goes lower, you need to be aware of your collateral. Ink is volatile, so you should be aware of that. So the core of it is borrowing the ink D against your ink. That's the core.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. And then doing things with the ink D to make it pay you, right? Which could either be like you're trading it, which is the more dangerous move. Like you're selling your ink D for other things that you want. You think Pulse is going up. You could be buying more ink, right? That would be one of the strategies. It's like borrow ink dollars against your ink, use it to buy more ink, right? Which you could then also borrow against. That's a popular strategy. There is another option though that I think people aren't necessarily thinking about. Like we have a stable coin here with single-sided staking paying 24%. You could just buy that stable coin, especially if it ever goes on sale. Like if you ever see it at like 98 cents, you could buy that. And like, let's say you're sitting on some DAI and you could swap your DAI if there was a discount for ink dollars. So, like if you can swap $1,000 worth of DAI for $1,020, $1,050 of ink dollars, then you have a single-sided staking option to make 24%. To my knowledge, there's no single-sided staking option for DAI from Ethereum that'll pay you 24%. So yeah, if you're sitting in stables, why not sit in a stable that's going to pay you? And then as far as like, getting out of that stable in the future, you can, there's options to redeem it for $1 worth of ink per dollar via the protocol, or of course you'll be able to swap it back into other stables.
So how strong is the peg of ink D to $1? Obviously it's holding just right there about. Well, how strong is that, and what are the how much can it vary in volatile times, or how much variability?
It's all stable coins are just tokens, right? Mm-hmm. So even DAI on Ethereum, from Ethereum on PulseChain or USDC or USDT, they can have dips or pumps in the price if a whale moves in and out. So based on the amount of liquidity, the ink dollar has that same volatility, probably more than those very big ones. But as far as it returning to $1, that part is certain because it's built into the protocol, right? So let's say some whale moves out and sells 100 grand, and we see a 95-cent ink dollar. Somebody can see, if somebody sees that, if I saw it, I would buy it up immediately. And then I would redeem it via the protocol for $1 worth of ink for each dollar that I bought, right? So that's what pushes it back up to the dollar, right? Is if somebody sees it at 95 cents, they can just buy it and then they can trade it for $1.
You wouldn't just get more ink D and then allow it to collateralize, and so the arbitrage of buying the ink is more valuable than just acquiring the ink D at the lower rate and holding it.
Well, if you acquire ink D at 95 cents, you can immediately via the protocol trade it for $1 worth of ink, right?
Okay, that's your
so
arbitrage.
at which point you could, you could continue the arbitrage, right? Like, so let's say you bought $10,000 worth and it only pushed it up to 96 cents. You could trade that $10,000 that you bought for less than $10,000 for $10,000 of ink, and then you could do it again until it made it back up to $1, right? At which point there's no more arbitrage. So having that option is what keeps all liquidity forks at $1, is that there is a redemption option where you can trade it for, you can swap it via the protocol for $1 worth of the underlying asset.
Okay. And what kind of circumstances do you think that you'd see that level of volatility?
Like it would only be when like a big player moved out where we get down to that level, but it would be more to do with pumps than anything, right? So let's say Richard Hart started bridging onto the chain, right? Like he bridged on $100 million worth of Ethereum, some silly number, right? Then people who are like, we know that there's $5 million in this protocol. And there's, hold on, let me look at the page. How many ink dollars are in existence? 1.04 million ink dollars exist right now. So maybe some of those holders of 1.04 million ink dollars are going to decide that, like, oh, right away, I want to get into Richard Hart assets immediately. I want to buy some Hex. I want to buy some Pulse. They're going to sell it at a faster rate than they would have regularly. They're not going to sell $1,000. They're going to sell $50,000 worth in big chunks because they feel like they're in a hurry, and that's going to pull the price down. And then somebody who sees that can buy it back up and arbitrage it immediately.
Okay.
So it's all about big players moving in and out. Like a little guy buying or selling like $5,000, $10,000 worth of ink dollars is not going to bump the price much, but enough little guys doing it in a row might, at which point there'll be that arbitrage opportunity. But there's always enough players watching to pick up on that, right? So like if it hit 95 cents, like realistically, it's not going to be there for more than 15 minutes before somebody's like going to be on it. It's because it's instant money. Like it's like, and it's on the blockchain, like instant in your wallet, right? Like it's not like you get paid next week, like you get paid now. So, like if somebody leaves $5,000 on the table because they sold $100,000 of ink dollars in one shot, without trying to time it out so that they could, get a better rate, then somebody's going to pick up that $5,000 right away. So, and whenever that happens, the people staking the print token get paid, right? Because they get a part of that redemption. So they get paid in ink if they're staking the print token whenever the redemption like that happens.
And then the print token is just the reward for people who are liquidity providing their inkd and DAI.
It's the reward. You get paid in print for single-sided staking of the ink dollar inside the protocol,
right?
As well as for providing liquidity to ink to DAI and print to ink. Now, those ones only run for 1 year, like 365 days from launch. Have the options. There's 311 days left, and there's 15% of the total supply that will ever exist in these two pools, right? So after a year, this opportunity is gone. This opportunity of just single-sided staking, that will exist indefinitely, though it's at the rate that those tokens come out, because there's a set amount of tokens in existence. So the rate that those tokens come out goes down over time. So early on, like these two pools pay a huge portion of the total print tokens that will ever exist, 30% of all tokens in these pools. So then after that's done and there's no more print tokens coming out of the protocol, then like the main obviously, well, like the stability pool will still pay for the single-sided staking, but staking of the print token itself will be the main money maker of the protocol, because whenever somebody mints ink dollars, print stakers get ink dollars as payment. Whenever somebody redeems print ink dollars, print stakers get ink as payment. So that's the main money maker. And it's paying out about right now. I think it's paying out around. It varies, of course, depending on the day, but I bet you it's averaging 700. No, probably more like $1,000 a day in ink on average. I would say gets paid out by the protocol.
Okay, got you.
and
And
then ink dollars on top of that.
and how do you
Maybe $2,000 in both.
and how and is there a way when you go to borrow your InkD against your ink where you calculate your the drawdown and your collateral ratio and all that?
Yep, you bet. It on the screen here, it will show you the collateral ratio that you're at, and it will show you where you are on the list as well. You can go to the risky vaults page and you can find your wallet. We can see the most risky vault right now is at 298% collateralization ratio. So he's not even that risky in terms of liquidation. More risky in terms of redemption, which is not so bad. And we can scroll through all the wallets here, and we can see that there's some big wallets. Like, look at this guy. This guy's got 1,238,000 ink inside the protocol, and he borrowed 490,000 ink dollars. So, I would position myself slightly behind this guy if I was playing this game, and that's a good place to be because probably that's a guy who knows how this game is played. So yeah, if you can have your wallet, he's at 457% collateralization ratio. I'd move slightly above him for starters, but it depends what kind of player you are, right? And how you're using the protocol for where you want to choose your collateralization level. But the protocol keeps track in real time of what your collateralization level is.
So for him, the price would have to drop by to a fifth for him to be margin called.
Basically, yeah. Like we need
So ink would have to drop to 35 cents or something like that.
$1.80 right now.
30 cents, 35 cents. Okay. Yeah.
8 divided by 4.57. Maybe more like 40 cents.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then people can adjust that at any time. All they have to do is add more ink into their vault, or pay back part of their loan with ink dollars in order to raise their collateralization.
What are most
level.
people doing with their InkD?
Well, we can see right on the screen here that as far as the ratios go, the stability pool has the majority of the ink dollars. 69% is inside the stability pool. So most people are single-sided staking it right here for this 24% APR. So I would say the next most common distribution of ink dollars right now is likely in the ink dollars to DAI LP farm, which has 580K in it, right? So half of that being ink dollars. 580 divided by 2. Yeah, $290,000 worth of ink dollars are in the ink dollar to DAI pair on PulseX.
Now, why would you choose to do that when you're getting more APR here with the InkD?
Because in this one, you're getting APR against DAI from Ethereum. So like it's on PulseX V2. So it's like every swap that happens in there is paying a fee to the LP providers. And so you're actually making DAI from Ethereum as well as ink dollars, as well as this print APR. So that's not shown in this 19.43%. But it's going back and forth. So you're getting actual DAI that could be bridged out to Ethereum when you do this one as well.
Okay.
There's another play too. Like some of the whales who are likely participating in this are probably monitoring it very closely. And let's say you were in this pool, right, and you put 100 grand in there. There's guys with more than that in there, and then you saw at that time there was a dip in the price of the ink dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Like it went down to 97 cents because somebody sold.
Mm-hmm.
If you pulled your LP at that time, you would have more ink dollars than DAI, and you could redeem the difference and actually profit from pulling the LP when the ink dollar was low, and then putting the LP back in when the ink dollar was high.
Okay. And how much time?
So
do you have?
bit of an advanced play. But.
Yeah. But if you get margin call, how much time do you have to put the InkD back in and or pay back with?
As far as the collateral, if your collateralization ratio falls below 110%, you're subject to instant liquidation. So, which means it is user generated. Somebody has to press the button. You see this little garbage can here,
mm-hmm.
right? If this guy falls to 109% APR,
mm-hmm.
I could press this button, and there would be an option to liquidate that vault, right? So as far as that goes, though, like what did that person actually lose in that scenario? It's about 10% that they lost of what they had, because in order to do that, they have to take out so many ink dollars, and nobody comes back for the ink dollars you've already taken out. Like Fast Abdoul is not knocking on your door, where's my ink dollars, bitch? Like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So once you take it out, you get to keep that. There's a $50 deposit when you make a vault that when you close a vault, you get back. You would lose that $50, right? And then it ends up, by and large, the average is around 10%, is what like your total loss would be if you get liquidated. So it's much lower risk than like normal leverage trading. Like this isn't leverage trading. It's like it's a loan scenario,
Right,
right?
because you still have
So,
your
but
ink D. You just lose your collateral, which was your ink, but you got the ink D, which you can redeem for. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And somebody could get liquidated right now if they chose to. Like if they put in $10,000 and then, and then max the amount that they just could take out to be at like 110% collateralization ratio, and then the price of ink dropped by 1%, then somebody would be able to press that button. So like you could make that happen, but we can tell from the user list here and where people are at that they understand and they're avoiding that. I think in the early days, a couple people probably made a mistake with collateralization ratio, but especially with the pump and the price of ink, like every time the price of ink goes up, everybody on this list, without doing anything, their collateralization level raises.
Yeah.
So inside a bull market, these protocols feel pretty safe to me.
Yeah.
If I'm
gotcha.
gonna have ink going from $1.80 to $2, $2 to $4, every time that happens, like if the price doubles, your collateralization ratio doubles basically. So it's it feels pretty good in a bull market. To be like, oh, okay, I'm safer as the bull market goes on. Or maybe if you want to be riskier, you could take out more every time the price goes up.
Got you. Oh, this is really great. I like it. Very cool.
The main activity that keeps people from having their collateralization ratio too low, like we can see right now, the minimum is 300%, is actually the redemption. Right? Liquidation is, at the moment, for anybody I see on this list, I feel like, not financial advice, but it's very unlikely any of these people are going to get liquidated. Like this, this $1 million, no, I should say, yeah, $2 million plus vault here that's taken out nearly 500K.
Wow.
Like, at 456%, he's very unlikely to be liquidated. Ink would have to go down to 40 cents, which is probably not going to happen in a day. And he would have, if he was watching and he saw it was going down a lot, he might top up his vault, before that happened. But the redemption feature, which is where you exchange one ink dollar for $1 worth of ink, that basically pays off the loan of the bottom vault, right? So you lose part of your ink that's in the vault in return for not having to pay off a portion of the ink dollars that you owed, right? So this guy on the bottom right now with 50,000 ink on there, if somebody redeemed $339.33 of his $30,339 debt, he would no longer have that debt, and he would lose an equivalent amount in dollar value of ink on the collateral side. So it ends up being a net neutral to that player, and that's the mechanism that keeps the price in line at $1. But it could be negative for that player if it wasn't his intention, right? Because it's not part of your plan necessarily. Some people, it is part of their plan. It's a pretty good way to leverage and be pretty safe. I'll just be the bottom vault and I'll end up with ink dollars that I don't have to pay back. Like that's not necessarily terrible if the price goes down, right? Like that could be like your hedge against the price going down. But if somebody doesn't have that plan and they want to keep riding with more ink, then they might not like that. So they either have to be aware of it and keep themselves higher, or watch it. And if this guy gets redeemed against, he could buy back immediately. And if it was at the same moment where the redemption happened, he would be at like he'd probably get ink for the exact same price that he got redeemed against with.
Right.
But if the price went down, he'd actually win in that moment. If the price went up right after he got redeemed against, he would lose. So in that way, it's a neutral. But it's not like getting liquidated at all. It's just your loan gets paid off, you lose the equivalent amount of ink. That's it. Right? It's not terrible.
Right. No, it's not. It's pretty cool.
And even the liquidation isn't terrible when we compare it to, like high-end pro leverage trading. Like if you do 30x long on BTC, right? Like, and you're wrong, it goes down by 10%. Like you're just out, right? Like all the money gone, right? It's not that.
Can you see, it's like some of those, you said somebody, you were like, oh, this person's smart. Like, can we see what other positions they have? Can you see the wallet, or it doesn't let you do that?
Well, we can see the list of wallets. So if we look at the risky vaults list, my internet's slow today. Maybe a second.
Total collateral ratio 483. Ink D instability pool 700. I mean, there's some big ink holders, aren't there?
So this guy here, we could copy his wallet, right? And
1.2 million.
we can actually get that wallet and we could look it up. We could see what else they're doing. I think Firewhale's in here too.
Who's that 1.2 million? Is that Richard Hart? It's a lot of,
Could be.
It's a lot of ink, huh?
It is. Here we go. This wallet is Firewhale,
Okay.
3146. Right?
Nice.
So, and you can literally copy that wallet and then, yeah, you could go check them out and see what they're doing. Right? But like anybody who's got, has big money in here, who's been in here for a while, those would be the guys that like me. Yeah, maybe I would take a look at their wallet and see what they're doing. Cause like, like look, Firewhales has 267,000 ink and change in there. He's got 100K in debt. That's it, right? Not a big deal to him. And this other player has, yeah, like almost 500K, and he's got over 1 million ink in there. That guy is, yeah, he's leveraging the hell out of his ink, but still in a pretty safe way, right? Like at that ratio, like unless ink goes down to 40 cents, this guy's not getting liquidated.
Right, right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And some of these players, yeah, they probably are very smart.
Yep. We can see these little guys too, though, right? Like look at this guy. C9D1, he's got like, yeah, 1,200 ink in there. He took out $500, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and with the like on Ethereum, you would never do that. Though the minimum on Ethereum for liquidity is $2,000 as well. But like your fees at the time, like it might not be worth playing with $500. But on PulseChain, if you're paying like 5-10 cents to press the button. You take out $500 and then you stake $500 to make 24%. Like, okay, that's not terrible, right? Like, just it could be like that's just where I keep my stables, for example. It's like, oh, I keep them in this pool and make 24%. Why would you not do that?
Yeah, 100%. Whoa, this is cool. And what's the supply of Ink D?
100 million. Oh, sorry, not that's the print token. The supply of Ink D, which is like Ink D supply started at 0, like there was 0 in existence. The supply right now is 1.04 million tokens.
Okay.
So, but it has an infinite supply in that it can be minted, but in order to mint it, you have to put in $1.10 worth of ink to mint one Ink D, right? It doesn't cost you $1.10. It's just it's over collateralized by that 10%. So like it's always backed by $1.10 worth of ink all the time, bare minimum. And we can see from the high collateralization ratio, 484% overall, it's backed by much more than that. So,
Got you.
So this number could go up or it could go down depending if people close their vaults and redeem it, or if people decide to take out more. I think what we'll see is we've seen this TVL, the protocol, go up to 5 million. If the price of ink doubles, we'll see more people taking out ink dollars. We'll probably see the amount of ink dollars in supply doubling as well.
Okay.
Though as we add more reasons to take out ink dollars, like let's say there was more farming options than there is right now, right? Like right now, for ink dollars, you only have 2 farming options: single-sided staking or against DAI from Ethereum. So if there was 5 farming options and maybe one that paid really good, 50% or something, I bet you'd see a lot more people like taking out ink dollars to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then, let's Yes. Can you take the Ink D if you don't want to stake it? Are people just going and then swapping it and making other bets? Is there enough liquidity to do that, to trade it for PulseX or something or whatever?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like I said before, like if you're moving like 100K in one shot, like, you know, you're going to take a bit of a hit on the price. But if you're moving $5,000, $10,000 at a time, you can certainly swap it for that. The thing is that the big players can do though is they can actually redeem it as well. So they can put in $100,000 worth of ink, borrow $50,000 worth of ink dollars, and if they need to swap that all in one go, they might actually, instead of swapping it, they might redeem it for ink that has like, you know, $8 million in liquidity, and then swap the ink instead. So for smaller players, you're moving $5,000, that's probably not to play. But if you're moving 100K worth of ink dollars, you there's a good chance you would actually just redeem it via the protocol, and then swap it out via that route. And then you could just swap ink, which has a ton of liquidity.
Amazing.
Yeah, it works.
I love it.
And it works on like, you know, 7 different chains. Not this protocol, but very similar versions of the same code have been deployed on, you know, most of the major chains, multiple versions. So it is a solid system as far as the stablecoin goes. When you remember there was that big crash where USDC depegged for like 1 weekend, basically,
I
right?
remember that.
LUSD, which is the
That was like
the Ethereum version
it
of
was like
this.
2 years. No, it was like
about 2 years ago. Yeah.
I remember I was traveling. I was sitting in an airport when it happened, and I was fucking sweating like, balls
Totally.
off. Yeah, it was frightening. I remember watching it happen.
People are flipping out.
Yeah.
But LUSD was one of the safe havens. I remember I moved into LUSD early when that happened. I probably lost 5 cents on my USDC. And then LUSD actually pumped up like to like $1.08 or something because people were flooding in there. And it held the peg throughout that entire time, right? Like there was no 85 cent LUSD, whereas there was 85 cent USDC. So it was, you know, because there's instant redemption and instant liquidation online, you have a stablecoin that doesn't require any permission to use, right? Like there's no external bank account that has to be accessed. There's no dev that has to come to work on Monday in order for you to be able to get your dollar out of this stablecoin.
Got you. And LUSD, is that liquid loans? What is that? Liquid.
LUSD is the actual original liquidity.
Liquidity. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which was on Ethereum.
Okay.
So liquid loans is USDL.
USDL.
But like, LUSD is the original, like liquidity V1 on Ethereum.
Okay.
That's been running for years and years. I think it's probably the safest stablecoin protocol there is. And it uses Ethereum as collateral, right? So it's collateralized by $1 worth of, you know, Ethereum per LUSD, or $1.10 rather.
Got you. What? How many can you have on a chain?
Happening in the chat.
Gary says, how many liquidity copy protocols can you have on one chain? You can have an infinite amount, right?
In theory, yeah.
They seem to be
I see
popular.
Ovidian is asking for a dick with butt printer. It is possible. We could use dick with butt for collateral for a stablecoin. But it's actually probably not a good idea, however. You need to have a certain, like a token you use for collateral needs to have a certain amount of liquidity, right? Like you don't want people to be able to pump and dump the price, because you don't want players coming in and trying to dump the price so that they can liquidate everybody. So if you pick something with a $10,000 liquidity pool and you use that for collateral for your liquidity fork, it could be done. But then somebody who holds $9,000 worth could dump the price by 90% and liquidate everybody. And obviously they'd have some sort of plan to capitalize on that. And that would be negative. So we chose Ink. It was the fourth liquidity fork on PulseChain, covering now all the richer core tickers. Could there be something else? Sure. Like you could definitely have a dick with butt stablecoin, but until there is like $8 million in liquidity for dick with butt and a holders list that I trust, I probably wouldn't do that. You know, you'll have to find a different dev for that one.
Because there's too many holders already, right? The redemption would be too high.
Well, it's not that, it's not the holders that matters necessarily. Like the holders you'd look at, like you also wouldn't want, like let's say you looked at the holders of a particular token, you saw that one guy has 90%, right? You'd be like, okay, am I worried about that guy? You'd have to ask yourself before you launched your stablecoin based on that. If you weren't worried about that guy because he was Richard Hart, for example, you might do it anyway. But if you don't know who that guy is and he holds 90% of a token, then it would be very risky to launch a stablecoin because that guy could mint infinite stablecoins and he could dump the price whenever he wanted, liquidating everyone. So that's, you know, those are sort of, you have to reach that standard of there's enough liquidity to make this happen. And the holders list is acceptable in terms of there's no one guy with enough tokens to destroy the chart completely and liquidate everybody at will. So Inc. certainly met that criteria. Like, yeah, there's some big whales, but there's a lot of liquidity. Like, you know, there's not many guys who could drop the price by 25 cents in a day, right? So we could see yesterday we saw like a 100K sell and it pulled the price from, you know, $1.99 to like $1.85 or something like that, right? So it didn't liquidate anybody on ink printer at that time. So, but I think as far as like other liquidity forks on PulseChain, like there's not many other tokens that I would look at very closely that to say that this qualifies for a liquidity fork, that this should be used as collateral for a stablecoin. Because you need to have that big liquidity, and you need to have a safe list of holders. So when you start talking meme coins, it gets a little bit dicey, right?
Yeah. It could.
It wouldn't be boring though, right? Like because as far as like
Would be interesting, wouldn't it?
people participating with the protocol, like taking the token, like if you had a volatile like token, like extremely volatile, like 50% swings every day, people getting liquidated every day, that like the price of the stablecoin would likely still hold at $1, like as long as it, you know, the liquidity didn't go too low. But the protocol would pay a lot of fees, that's for sure. But it wouldn't be a pleasure to use necessarily. It'd be a pleasure to stake the token and earn silly fees from people getting constantly liquidated. But yeah, I wouldn't feel good about it.
Right.
You need that stability. How are we doing for likes? Are we getting close to another prize giveaway benchmark?
We got 125 likes and 667 people watching. I tell you what, if we get up to at least 150 likes and 666 people watching, we'll do the next one.
Okay. That'll be for the $500 for the print tokens.
Yeah, it's a pretty big prize here. So smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Of course, come to the Telegram at SAINTwolf Vision. And then, of course, you need to go to Ink Printer Chat Telegram to be eligible to win this. And you need to be subscribed to 2 other channels that Fast Abdoul, you have in common with Fast Abdoul.
Think PulseChain Telegram rooms, guys.
Somebody was saying that you're not subscribed to Sonny's Pub.
I'm not currently subscribed to Sonny's Pub. I have been in the past and maybe again in the future. I'm aware of it.
Sonny is asking specifically why aren't you in there?
Well, let me find it, Sonny. I'll get in there.
I don't know. Is there old beef there? Is there old drama? Am I scratching something? What's going on?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I have no beef with Sonny. I don't interact with with the kind of his specialty has been tax token stuff in the past. I haven't interacted with that a lot, but yeah, there's definitively no beef.
Okay.
Unless he's got some beef I don't know about. It's quite possible.
So let's go. Let's get those likes up, pups. We got one like came in. No, a couple did actually. We can do better than that. We're at 133. We just got a little bit more to go. We got a $500 giveaway coming up, and then the big one comes after that. How much is the big one?
The big one is $1,000 worth of ink at the price at the time when I sent it to you.
Guys, that's pretty epic. Come on, let's smash the like buttons. Let's get going. I want to get to the $1,000 one. That's the one I want to win. But it's a fair contest. Anybody can win this.
Yep. Random bot generating randomly from the name. They'll pull your name from the Telegram room. You just got to be in the ink printer Telegram room. 3 groups Conversations with Fast Abdoul. Should I show you some of the upgrades that we got planned?
Yeah, tell us some of the upgrades. Oh, there you guys are. And who else came to the Telegram? Crypto King. You got Crypto King just joined Ink Printer. We don't know if it's that one. Is that the Cash Money guy? Who's that? Everything.
Oh yeah, Crypto King, Drip King. He's been in there since day one. He's live in there all day long, every day.
Oh, okay. That's right. Oh, he's not the Cash Money guy. Okay, that's a different guy.
Well, he's the guy. He went live with Somi and stuff like that. He's got all the tattoos. He's a very lively individual.
This guy says everything Thailand today. I'm Cash Money. Are you really? You got to prove it, man. No, Cash Money's too colorful. You wouldn't just have an E. You'd have a little more going.
I believe he is from Thailand, so it
it
kind of tracks.
All right. Everybody wants to win, man. I hope we get an EHEX printer. Everything Thailand today. What's going on in Thailand today? Oh, Tam Tam's back. How you doing, Tam Tam? Wait.
Hey, Tam.
She says, "Is anyone will ever do an EHEX printer on PulseChain?"
I bet you somebody will. That would be a reasonable token to use as collateral based on the current liquidity. You also have that liquidity on Ethereum. But this is the thing to keep in mind, right? So with Hex from Ethereum that's bridged over to PulseChain, as far as the liquidations and stuff like that, you'd probably, I guess you could point it at Ethereum, but like it would probably mostly be based on the price on PulseChain. So you kind of like a split liquidity situation where it would be a little bit trickier to track the value. And where people could, like, let's say it does a 20% dip on PulseChain, but not a 20% dip on Ethereum. Like, how do you deal with that, right? So it's definitely a riskier thing in terms of the amount of liquidity and in terms of split liquidity than Hex on PulseChain has. And we already have the Flex protocol by Power City that uses Hex on PulseChain for collateral. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was something that used EHEX for collateral, either on PulseChain and or Ethereum. That's not impossible. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm just saying it's not a terrible idea. I would put that on the list of things that would be decent enough.
This is a cool chart. Okay, walk us through this. Oh, wait, let's see. We got 141 likes. Guys, we're almost there at 150. We're going to go through this chart.
150.
We're going to spin that wheel as soon as we get to 150. $500 coming up. Okay, let's do this. Infinite printer upgrade. What's going on here?
Okay, so this gets a little bit complicated, but there's definitely rhyme to the reason here. So with the print protocol, people are earning the print token as yield, right? And then when they stake that print token, they get ink and ink dollars as a reward. The problem that all liquidity forks have, and most protocols that give away some sort of reward token, whether that token has utility or not, and there is very strong utility for the print token right now, like in that, like it'll give you ink and ink dollars, but it's still something you're getting for performing an action to encourage you to perform that action. That action being to mint ink dollars and stake them, or otherwise interact with the protocol. So I was trying to think of ways that we could get the price to to go up on the print token. I'm incentivized for that to happen, and it would make people use the protocol more because the higher the price of the print token is, the higher the APR is. So imagine on that stable pool farm or the single-sided staking is paying 24% right now. What if that was 150%? Like on like single-sided staking of a stablecoin, how many more people use the protocol? I think a lot, right? There'd be a lot more ink locked up. I bet instead of 5% of all ink, it would be 20 or 30% of all ink would end up in the protocol.
Yeah.
So in order to
Maybe
make that happen, it'd be a big deal. So in order to make that happen, I figured there has to be more than one lever to pull.
Okay.
So the first lever that we're planning for, and this is actually done right now, like done and audited, code is ready. I'll show you the button that's going to show up on probably Monday, where people can actually participate with this, is what we're calling the S-Print token. So this is what I worked on with the Power City team to get a liquid staking token for the ink printer protocol. So what happens is people can take their print and instead of staking it inside the protocol, they can turn it into S-Print, which means it ends up staked inside the protocol, but in the protocol wallet, not in their wallet. And they get a receipt for that, which is the S-Print token. So they can switch back at any time 1-to-1, right? So it's always 1-to-1. So if there's ever an arbitrage there, if one is higher or lower than the other, people can capitalize on that arbitrage. Because right via the front end, there'll be a button to switch print for S-Print and S-Print back to print. There's no fee except for your pulse fee on the transaction, pennies, to switch back and forth. So what that does is it gives two tokens that are always the same value of each other because one is always redeemable for another. So there's not like a huge benefit to that unless there's something to do with that token. And the thing that they'll be able to do is farm. So initially, we're going to have farms on 2FUX. I actually already have one set up. And FYI, guys, don't FOMO the S-Print token, right? Because it's the same as the print token. If you want print tokens, buy print tokens. You can turn them into S-Print yourself, but don't buy up the price real high because you see a new token. That's a terrible plan. People can arbitrage at 1-to-1 all the time. So this is probably going to happen anyway, but just so you know. But people will be able to LP the S-Print token to print. I made a liquidity pool that's 80% S-Print token and 20% print, and there's no impermanent loss, like zero impermanent loss, because one is always equal to the other. And they'll earn fees for doing that, but they'll also earn the 2FUX token and the FUX token, which have separate utility and have decent liquidity that you can sell if you want to for doing that. So we'll introduce no impermanent loss farming that will probably pay more than just staking your print token by itself, right? So it'd be a trade-off. They're giving up staking their print token for farming, likely at higher APRs via the 2FUX protocol at first, but I'll have more things that we'll discuss in a sec. And because some people choose to do that, the people who don't choose to do it, who remain staking their print token, they'll be getting paid more because the pool is now less diluted. If 50% of the people come over here and decide to farm with S-Print, and 50% of the people stay, both groups are getting paid twice as much than if they were all in the same pool. Now, here's where the magic comes in. When people turn their print into S-Print, which they can always switch back if they change their mind for any reason, that S-Print ends up earning the ink dollars and ink that are inside the protocol, that the protocol earns for staking print tokens, and that is used to buy and burn print S-Print off the market. The reason it buys and burns S-Print rather than print is that means that now that print is permanently locked inside the protocol and permanently earning ink dollars and ink that it uses to buy up more S-Print. And since one S-Print is always represented by one print, 1-to-1 backing at any time, it effectively takes print off the market forever. But it's not like it burned print. That print is working, but the only thing it's working on is buying more print. Right? So what will happen over time, possibly a really short time if things go the way I think they will, is that the main holder of the print token and the main staker of the print token will actually be the ink printer protocol itself via the S-Print contract. And whenever it makes fees, it uses those fees to buy up S-Print continuously, and until it ends up being, it won't never be the only holder, but like there'll be a tiny liquidity pool that's constantly getting bought up by one main entity that's earning the majority of the fees of the protocol, and buying up the majority of the tokens off the market continuously every time it makes fees. Right. So this is ready to go. And yeah, we're going to be deploying it right away. I was just waiting for this farm to get revved up in order to deploy it, because there's no benefit to somebody doing this unless they have a farming option. So when this farming option goes live, I'll press the button. There'll be a new box that pops up on the right on the ink printer page, where people can make that switch from print to S print, and then they'll be able to farm it immediately to make no impermanent loss, high APR farming is the plan that I'm going to go with. Does that make sense? I know that's pretty heavy stuff.
It's pretty heavy, fast. Chad, how you guys doing? You guys hanging in there? And what questions do you have? Atropa 414 Dev is here.
Oh, good. He's a big fan.
You and him get along great, I know.
Is that the real Atropa 414 Dev? Or
no, I doubt it.
I would doubt it. Yeah, I don't think he says things like that.
Claudia asked, "What's the?"
But regardless, the
Yo, we got 143 likes, pups. We get 150 likes. We're gonna do a $500 giveaway. So reach forward, smash the like button, come to the telegrams at SAINTwolf Vision and TG Print Inc. Hang on, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, pups. You guys will see it at SAINTwolf Vision and Ink Printer Chat. Okay, so go there now. Claudia's asking, what's the prize, Fast or Saint or both?
Man, that'd be a whole new category of prizes.
You need a lot more collateral.
Indeed, yeah. You need to be like a whale for that one.
You need to be a whale, super whale, man. We're pretty expensive. But if we can get the likes up to 150, we got a $500 giveaway coming up here. All the YouTube people right now are yelling at the Twitter people, at the X people, because they know they're the ones who can't smash the like button. They're like, you fucking... Some of you guys...
Plenty of Twitter people.
Have all the
Come over to YouTube, press the like button.
We know all the YouTube people smashed it because it's too easy. You can re-smash it.
I don't think you can re-smash
You
it.
can't re-smash? Okay.
It doesn't. It doesn't give you more likes. You can unsmash it and resmash it, but the number does not increase.
The X people are making the extra effort. They're like, I'm going to YouTube right now and smash it. I want to win this. Come on. I want to win this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this.
While we're waiting, I will review the next phase of the plan. So we'll have this first phase going live next week, basically.
Right.
So we'll have
Like
the...
you're gay. Some people are actually gay, bro.
Yeah.
Some people are. Like, they can't. What are they going to do? Do you stake the S? Okay, we got
to like even if you're gay, regardless of your gayness.
Doesn't matter of your gender or sexuality. Okay, we want to win this. We want to win. I want to win this contest. God damn it, smash it. Yo, Conscious, thanks for resmashing. And Red Bull has a question, or what was that? Fox
Sure.
Mulder. So you stake the S print to earn Ink D and Ink. What are the fees based on?
So with the S print, you're taking your print token, instead of staking it yourself, you're converting it to S print, at which point you can do zero impermanent loss farming, at first via Fux and 2Fux. So you'll be able to pair S print versus print, which are exchangeable at a 1-to-1 ratio all day long, every day via the protocol. So there's no impermanent loss at all. And then you'll be able to farm those to make Fux and 2Fux. So that's phase one that we're rolling out next week. Okay. And then that S print earns the fees. Instead of the person who would have staked their print token, they've given away their staking fees that they would earn in Ink and Ink dollars. So print stakers earn Ink and Ink dollars. In the case of S print, the S print contract is earning the Ink and Ink dollars, and it's using it to buy and burn S print, thus effectively taking the equivalent amount of print off the market permanently and locking it in the protocol to buy more next time off the market permanently.
Fox.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Is that?
So the next phase of the upgrade is going to be custom farms, which will be hosted by the Farming Wizard by the Hocus Pocus team. We've looked at those before, I'm pretty sure. Um, there's going to be, and there will be on PulseX V2, right? So it's very easy farms to interact with. There are going to be farms where there'll be ink dollars and print token paired against various assets. So I've put like PXDC, which is the Power City one that uses PulseX for collateral, but also like it could be USDC, it could be DAI from Ethereum, it could be whatever asset that we want. You could be farming over here against print or ink dollars, and then you'll earn a special token that we're creating just for this. And this is kind of the pull the rabbit out of the hat moment, because this is not super easy given the nature of this protocol. But we're making the Incinerator token. That is not 100% the official name, but we're going to have a token. In my head, I'm calling it Incinerator. It will reward holders in ink, and it will buy and burn S-print if people choose not to hold it. Right? So it's a reward token like other reward tokens, except for this one, you're not just buying this. You could just buy it if you want to, but you can also get it for free by participating in these farms, right? So they work just like the PulseX farms, except for instead of ink, you're earning Incinerator. And instead of the traditional Pulse pairs, it'll be pairs like what we see on the screen here, possibly other things. There could be quite a few different options. And you're going to earn a token that's purpose is to reward you in ink if you just hold it. But if you choose not to hold it, it's buying and burning the S-print, taking it off the market, locking it in the system forever, and giving it more buy pressure to buy and burn more S-print next week, next month, next year, right? So this is going to amplify the speed that the ink printer protocol becomes the biggest permanent holder of the print token and only uses those fees to buy up more print all the time. It's gonna speed it up by a lot.
This is crazy. So all this ink is just gonna stay locked up in the protocol. Nobody can, in essence, right?
Well, ink is never permanently locked in the protocol. The print token gets locked in the protocol, but people can always get their ink back by paying off their loan, right? And so on and so forth. Right. What this is going to do, or what I would like it to do, is increase the demand for the print token, because there'll be one main buyer that'll be the protocol that will be always buying it off itself, which will increase the price of the print token, which will incentivize more people to use the protocol. Because like I said, if you had 150% APR on farming stablecoins, more people would want to do that. And then they would lock up more ink. So then we'd have more ink. Maybe instead of 5%, we get 10, 20% of all ink locked in the protocol, which would have a positive price effect on the price of ink.
Right. But yeah, it's true. But you could leave your ink locked up for quite a long time. You said it was only 1 year limit, right? Though.
Oh, you could leave your ink in there indefinitely. There's no time limit, right? Like you could open a vault and close it like 5 minutes later, or you could leave it in there forever. So it's like you're taking out a 0% interest loan, and you never have to pay it back, right? Like you're subject to the way the protocol works with liquidations and redemptions, but like there's never a point where you have to pay that back or where you have to wait a certain amount of time. Like you could take your money back immediately by paying off your loan. It's that's not really the play. Like there's not a big advantage of doing that, but like if you want to do 6 months, you want to do a year, some people will probably use this for 10 years plus, right? In certain jurisdictions, there's a huge tax advantage in that, like most places, you don't pay tax on taking out a loan, right? So let's say ink goes up to $200 and you're a long-term multi-cycle holder, right? Like it goes up to $200, you take out, you put in, you have $5 million in there, you take out $1 million. You didn't profit $1 million. You took a loan out for $1 million. So like most places, you wouldn't pay tax on that $1 million loan, right? Because it's a loan. Like I borrowed $1 million, right? And if there was any sort of fee or interest, which there's no interest, there's some small fees and one-time fees when you take a loan, but like, in theory, that would be a tax write-off. Like, oh, I paid a fee to take out a loan. That fee would be a tax write-off, and the loan itself would not be taxable. So that may not be true everywhere. I am not an accountant or financial advisor, but that's what I believe to be true most places.
Are you guys following along really well? I need a small long. Everything Thailand says he doesn't understand how ink printer works. It is complicated. I understand. You guys ask any questions you have. We'll answer them for you. There's actually a lot going on, a lot coming for it as well.
I am positive that everything Thailand does understand how ink printer works. So you must be referring to someone else in the chat.
I think that's fair to say. Ink stable.
Crypto Neophyte has a question there. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, Crypto Neophyte. Yeah. Huge fan, SAINTwolf and Fast. Where does the fees come from? Therefore, enabling the protocol to offer APR. Many thanks. Where do the fees come from?
Well, as far as APRs go, like most of the APR that's coming out in terms of like the print token, like people are getting the print token. So like the protocol itself is distributing that, and there's an APR based on the value. As far as staking the print token, when you stake the print token, you're getting paid in ink dollars as well as in ink. So that's based on people either minting ink dollars. So when somebody creates a new ink dollar, there's a minimum fee of 0.5%. When you mint ink dollars, and that goes to the print stakers. And then when you redeem ink dollars, again, there's a minimum fee of 0.5%, and that goes to the print stakers as well. So there's there's no interest on any liquidity fork, V1 liquidity fork anyway. But there's the one-time fee when you borrow, or the one-time fee when you redeem. So, and that goes to the stakers of the print token. That's what makes it an ink printer. So, but the value of the print token itself is what makes up the majority of the APR for things like staking the stablecoin. It also, like, if there's liquidations, people are staking the stablecoin, get a piece of that. I don't anticipate a lot of liquidations anytime soon.
Right.
So yeah, the value of the print token, if we can get that value up higher, let's say instead of, what is it, like 9 cents right now or something, let's say it went up to $1, right? Like, there'd be huge APRs, and then many people would participate. More participation would lower the APR. That's how those things work. But, I would like to see 50% plus APR all the time. So this is my goal. These are the tools I'm using. I think we can do it. And I think this incinerator token that people can get for free by farming, even farming stable to stable pairs, like, because we're going to certainly have those in there. I think it's going to be hot. I think it's going to have a lot of movement. One of the main things with reward tokens is as soon as they stagnate, as soon as they stop moving, right, then they stop paying. This is something people earn for farming, right? It's always going to be moving. There's always going to be buyers. There's always going to be sellers. There's always going to be liquidity pairs that are incentivized. And so it's going to have a lot of movement. So I think it's going to pay a lot of ink, and it's going to burn a lot of S-print.
Yeah, it's really cool. So how far away is this from starting, or when are you going to deploy this?
Well, the phase one with the print to S-print farm, that's already pretty much done. I'm just waiting for votes to go through on a farm so that it'll pay decent APR. I don't want to put the button up until, like, I could put the button up right now, like it's ready, but I don't want to put that up until there's going to be actually somewhere where people can earn more than they're earning right now. So I only want to provide good solutions. But that'll be next week. I know those farms will go live. They're already created. We're just waiting for votes to go through. Basically on a Wednesday evening next week, that pool will be paying. So that'll be done. As far as the incinerator token and the farms attached to that's going to take a bit longer because it's actually quite a build. We're taking a sushi swap contract, the same as what's being used for PulseX, etc. The Master Chef contract, but we're modifying it to, instead of just giving you a token that doesn't do anything, right? That's just a sell token. It's a token that has code, a fair bit of code, that pays you ink to hold it, and then burns S-print if you sell it. So that's it's a bit of an ask of the Hocus Pocus team, but those guys are working on it, and I think it's gonna be really cool. I've worked with them before. I helped Randy Yalarski set up his homie farms where people get paid in the DAT token. Mm-hmm. It'll look exactly like that, except for you're gonna get the incinerator token that pays you to hold it. That's that'll be it. And they look pretty cool. They're nice farms.
Wow, that's very cool, man.
Yeah. But like realistically, I hate giving these timelines because there's always something that comes up. But I'm confident in the S-Print prediction because it's done. All the work is done. All the audits are done. I'm literally waiting for a date on a calendar where votes go through on a farm. After that, so Wednesday next week, people can have that opportunity. As far as
Somebody's asking for your
the incinerator token, I'd say we're probably 1 to 2 months out
okay.
from that being like all done. I'm sure the code will be done well before then, but for audits to come back and for all the bells and whistles to be set up so that we can have something that's easy and safe to use. Because like there's going to be stablecoin farms in there, right? So I'm not gonna put forward a half-ass contract that has stable to stable pairs. It's too dangerous. So it's going to have full audits, full all the bells and whistles, just like it was a brand new stablecoin protocol. Even though it is like just a fork with some changes to code, we're gonna treat it right.
Pubs, we got 3
Ink
more
price.
likes to go to get to 100, or 2 more likes to go before we do the $500 giveaway. I mean, we just hit 150 and we do the next round of giveaway. It's a $500 giveaway. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, Ashraful Kabir is asking, bro, can you predict the ink price, please? How in touch with you are with the ink price? What do you think? Have you thought about how
I
high
think
it
you're
could
much
go?
more qualified than I am.
But have you thought about that too, though? What everyone's got some
Oh, yeah.
moon math, right? What do you think?
Well, I think based on the liquidity and some of my theories, right? Like theory number 1, the ink could have future utility. Like that's fine. But the current utility for ink, which is sometimes this billionaire guy buys it. That's actually the one that I think would move the price. Because if Richard wants to incentivize the farms, one really good way of doing that is pumping the ink price. And it wouldn't be that hard with his bags to pump ink to $1,000, $2,000. And then those farms would be paying and people would participate. I don't think he'd be as likely to do that, like to that extent, until we get, further into the bull market. But I think we could see $1,000 ink. As far as the core assets go, it'd probably be the easiest ones to get into that price range. Like much easier than, or just that number of X's. Much easier than Pulse or Pulse X.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think Hex has similar-ish liquidity. But Hex has a lot more sell pressure sometimes too. So I think Ink has a diamond hand set of Chad holders. And that if Richard pumped it to, let's say even $100, like some people would sell, not everybody would sell. There would still be some of those same guys, like that million ink wallet that we looked at, that guy would probably still be holding. All right. And so we probably could see $1,000 ink price or something silly like that.
Yeah.
And of course for, like ink printer, that'd be huge, right? Like it would be paying out massive amounts of APR all over the place if we had $1,000 ink. But even if it was only a $40 ink, it would still be fantastic. And that is definitively possible.
Yeah.
Relatively little amount of money. And it only take one announcement or, one big buy from the right whale to make that happen.
Yeah, I think.
And it's been there before, right?
Yeah.
Like $80 is the all-time high.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I'll answer it too. So for me, $1,000 is my second take profit. My first one is 400. My second is 1,000. But my third take profit, that's like what I'm holding to. Can anybody guess? Anybody chat? I'll leave it to chat. What do you think my next target is after 1,000 for ink? And this would be by 2028. Ink at 50x today's price, around 100. You're saying 100, yeah. So yeah, 100 is cool, but I'm holding well past 100. Like I said, first take profit. I think I said 400, then 1,000, and then my next target 2,500 Grand Pulse. That's good. That could even happen this cycle. Actually, you nailed it. Go to plays. Damn, nice, bro. That's it. 4,000, 4K. That's my target. That's like my third big take
4K.
profit, and that's like my target by 2028.
I like everything's Thailand,
do you
5555.
Yeah, maybe it gets there. Yeah.
Like if somebody was pumping the price and they had a benchmark, I could see that being a benchmark they might consider, right?
It's true. It's not that it's not that much further. If it gets really euphoric, past 2028, yeah, definitely could see it getting to 5555 for sure. Before K, I feel like is going to surprise people, but I think very possible. We could easily get a wick up to 4K. And that's not this year and not next year. I'm talking like 2028. But I could see 1,000 by 2026. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. 100%.
And that'd be huge. Like, imagine if you'd leverage long ink via ink printer, right? Like, you put in $10,000, which like at $1 ink, right? Which is like a lot of people got into using ink printer when ink was $1, and that dollar was really well defended, so it stayed close to $1 for a long time.
Right.
But then instead of $1, it was $10,000, right? Like, you'd be able to you'd be able to borrow the difference and have a tax-free, like stupid amount of money.
Nice. About 10K is 10,000x for ink. Interesting. Well, 10,000x from 40 cents is 4,000. So that's where that one comes from, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah. I follow the guy with glasses. Good day, gentlemen. What's up, Badini Beats? How you doing? What's up, Condor? What's up, Bright Lights? Good to see you guys. Reginald, 7,500. Yeah, not bad. Claudia, I like Claudia's thinking just $1 million ink tokens.
Stranger things have happened.
No 40-cent bottom. 16K, 10,000x at 4K. I don't know what he's saying. Okay, we're at 152 likes, so let's go ahead and let's get in there.
Let me queue up the bot.
Let's do it. Where are we at here? What's this button do? All right, where was that? We were listening to... Let's do it. Let's queue up that bot. Pups, you guys better go to the Telegram at Ink
Printer chat.
Ink Printer Chat. Better get in there. And while you're at it, go to SAINTwolf Vision, because that'll also you got to be following 3 Telegrams that are in together with Fast Abdoul, or that are what? Same with the Ink Printer Chat, right? That's what it is. It's not you personally, right?
What me personally is because that's what I can see when I click on somebody's name.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in most Pulse Telegram rooms. I'm in both SAINTwolf Telegram rooms. So right there, you have enough.
Yeah. So if you guys are in SAINTwolf Vision, you're in
SAINTwolf Vision and SAINTwolf Pub.
And SAINTwolf Pub and the
that'll be 3, right?
Ink Printer Chat, you're good. Sonny's Pub is another. A lot of people in there. If you're in there and you're in mine and you're in...
I'm in there now.
In there,
yeah.
You got your 3, okay? So this one's for $500. The first one we did earlier in the stream was a Bored Ape on the PulseChain. That's what it was, right? Yep. So that was won by Yusuf. Has Yusuf claimed it yet? Does he even know? He did?
I have not spoken to Yusuf yet.
Okay. So
I'm not monitoring all my...
When the stream ends, if Yusuf hasn't claimed it, then... Do we do it again?
We'll give Yusuf a month or so to claim.
We give him a month.
I think I put 30 days. You have to claim your price.
Oh, Fast. He's such a nice guy. I thought he was faster, but he's really sweet. He's giving him 30 days. I would have given him like the end of the stream.
Okay, so I'm going to share this. Let's see if that'll come up.
Let's go.
So this is for $500.
Hang on one second. Your stream is getting crushed here. What's going on? Is that me or you? Why can't we see what you're doing? We're supposed to be able to see it, right?
Yeah. Here, let me.
You know what you can do is wait. Oh, okay. You're not.
I'll share like the whole screen instead of just that box.
I just couldn't even see the box. Could I? Were you guys seeing it?
It was a piece of we saw a piece of the box.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let's try this. We good now?
Yeah. Okay, maybe I just couldn't read it correctly. I guess that was the box, huh?
There we go. Okay, so this is for $500. Oops, not 50. $500 in print tokens. Once again, you have to have 3 Telegram rooms in common with Fast Abdoul. I will not DM you about this. If you get any DMs about claiming a prize, it's probably a scam. Also, never give out your seed phrase or private keys. You don't need that. Just a wallet address. Okay. Should I press the button?
All right, all right. Do we have a drum roll? Is there a drum roll here? Somebody do a drum roll. I don't think I
have a
have.
drum roll. And the same person can't win twice. And there's small chance that happens.
Okay, we got something here. What's that button do? Okay, ready?
All right. Say when.
When?
Oh.
All right, we're doing it again.
There we go. Okay. Converstations. Do they qualify? They do. 44 groups in common with Fast Abdoul.
Consigliere.
Consigliere.
You have won.
$500 in print tokens.
$500 in print tokens. It's amazing. Nice work, man.
Yeah.
Nice work. Yes. Very nice work.
That's prize number 2. Only one to go. The grand prize is still available. We have do we have Consigliere in the chat here by chance?
I haven't seen him in the chat. Who's Consigliere? Does anybody know him? Look, if he's not here, he doesn't know. We could just do it again.
No, that's not how we're gonna play it.
You guys are
We
lucky.
can have another contest another time where you have to be live. But I set the rules out like
You know what we should do?
2 months ago.
Consigliere's not here. Let's just give him rubles. He won't know. And then we'll do the All right. Congrats to Consigliere. That's right. You won, buddy. You won, buddy. You're lucky. Fast
did.
Abdoul's a nice guy. He's honoring it. How long does he have to claim it? Don't tell me
Let me check the rules.
Don't tell me 30 days. Come on, man.
Whatever I said in the chat is the deal. 30 days. You have 30 days to claim the prize.
Damn. 30 days. What's he saying? That's the second time the bot misspelled my name. Fox. Oh, my name's Yusuf. I forgot to tell you. I'm
wow.
Consigliere. That's my other avatar. Yeah.
And that's why one of the requirements is you have to have a username. So you can't fake that part. Putting a note in here that I will not DM you if you win. Watch out for scammers. So I'll post it in the Telegram room, and then you'll have to contact me. I will not ask for your seed phrase. I will not ask for your private keys. There's been a slew of fake Fast Abdouls lately. So
Has there?
yeah. Even in obviously they'll show up in my Telegram rooms, and the admins will catch them right away. But they've even been showing up in other Telegram rooms that I might be in, but I'm not active in, and they'll be contacting people there, right? Playing on my reputation to contact people to try to scam them. So there's been a couple people scammed by fake Fast Abdouls. It's undesirable. When we're all rich, I will round them up and we will hunt them on my private island.
Where is that?
Yeah, print tokens had quite a pump with the price of ink lately, eh?
Yeah. What is... Ink printer. You think people are trading this?
I don't think there's a lot. There's a fair amount of holders, but there's not a ton of people trading it. It's not really a trading token, right? It's like a staking token.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some people are trading it though. I think when we get the S print live next week, we'll have more traders because there'll be like an arbitrage opportunity. So there'll probably be some people trading it when there's like a arbitrage point between S print and print all the time. So, but right now it's definitely like accumulation phase, staking token.
Yeah.
Like you get a piece of the protocol revenue if you stake this. That's its purpose.
All right, pups, check it out. We have 9,456 people watching the stream right now. That's amazing, actually. That's amazing. But we only have 158 likes. And we can't do the 1,000 grand prize until we have 200 likes. So let's get this video up to 200 likes so we can do that last raffle. 1,000 ink dollars. Not ink dollars, it's ink, right? 1,000 in ink.
1,000 ink. Yeah, not 1,000 ink tokens, $1,000 in ink tokens. Whatever that is at the time that I send it to you.
Yeah, that's amazing. So let's get those likes up. I'm feeling lucky today. I'm just feeling lucky today. I'm going to be the winner. Let's go, man.
Stranger things that happen.
So far, we got Yusuf, hasn't claimed his Bored Ape. We got Conciliary. He's just not around. Come on. What's going on here? Somebody, okay, for this last one, somebody in chat. It's got to be either somebody in chat, somebody. We can't have these random people. We don't even know where they are. That's a fat bag of ink. Okay, so really quick, let's do this TA really quick. We're getting those likes up. Let's go. We got a little bit more to go. I know some people on X want to win too. Let's go, man. Get in the telegrams. Get in the ink printer chat telegram, SAINTwolf Vision. Get in the telegrams and smash the like button. Let's do this. How do we register for the drawing? You follow a telegram where you have 3 in common with ink printer chat or Fast Abdoul. So that's it, right? That's how you register.
Yeah, so linked in the description of this stream is like the link to the ink printer chat. You just got to be in the chat. You have to have 3 Telegram rooms in common with me. I'm in all the big PulseChain rooms. So if you're in, for example, SAINTwolf's Pub or SAINTwolf's Vision or the Pulse Room or the Hex Room or the Pulse X Room or Liquid Loans or Sunny's Pub or, various cabals. I'm in many cabals.
He's in a lot of cabals. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. I'm in the cabal room. If you're in the cabal room with me and also ink printer, also SAINTwolf Vision, you're good. So I've been looking at most of the people joining the ink printer Telegram room, and everyone I've clicked on, I have at least 3 in common with so far. So I'm setting that standard so to keep to keep the scammers out, to keep the spammers out, and to make sure it goes to somebody in the community, somebody who's here for the tech like me. You also have to have a username on your account, right? So that people can't fake it's you. So if you don't have a username on your Telegram account, add a username on your Telegram account. I've pinned all these things in the chat.
So if we come over here, my wife won't let me get on Telegram. Let's get those likes up, pups. Oh, we just got to get up. We just got to get the likes up. We're almost there. We're almost there. Everybody smash the like button.
Good.
We just got a couple more likes.
But I'm hoping with this S-Print protocol and the Incinerator token and the Incinerator farms that I'm hoping we can see outside of just the pressure of the price of ink going up to, $100, $40, $1,000, that we can see it generate an independent 10x on the price of print. That's my personal goal, not financial advice. But, there's some pretty big levers that we can pull here. I'm the co-founder of the 2FUX protocol, which is basically the fork of Convex for the PulseChain. We got some levers. We're going to pull them. Let's see what happens.
Nice. So here's what we got. We got, ink printers right here. It's just constantly coming up, breaking its upward trend, slowly falling over to the side, just going sideways right now. It's coming up to retest right now. It seems like people are trading this right now. I'm assuming it's just going to continue this pattern as it goes sideways and down, probably similar to something we had over here, because what I'm seeing forming in the long term, I'm hoping, is just going to be something like this. You got the head, left shoulder, and right shoulder here. And so Maybe we get some kind of, this gets broken here, come up, a little breakdown, last little bit, come up, and see you later, bye-bye. And that would be beautiful inverse head and shoulders right there, okay?
Yep.
Now,
So what we're trying to do is break the sell pressure on this token with the upgrades, right? So this is a reward token. Like people can receive this for free. Like you don't have to buy this. You can earn it by participating with the protocol. All you need is ink, right, to participate with the protocol. Then you can mint ink dollars. You can get the print token for free. We're trying to make it so that the protocol itself is the main buyer of the print token, right? And that's going to allow us to, to have something where there's always going to be a buyer every day, all day long. That's my goal, right? Nothing's guaranteed here. This is crypto. We're lucky it works at all sometimes, but this is a fork of liquidity for the PulseChain. It's very solid code, and with the upgrades, I think it could look pretty nice. But as far as this reward tokens go, right now, what's our price? We're at 0.0088. Oh no, we broke the 90. Okay. If we take a look at, let's take a look at Earn or Flex, because they're the exact same tokenomics, and we can see where they are right now. And then that's a good comparable to the print token. We're a little bit stronger than they are.
so somebody was asking my wife, what do I have to do to win? Far Right Aliens, very simple. In the description is the Telegram group, or scrolling at the bottom of the screen is Ink Printer Chat. You need to be in there, and then you need to be in at SAINTwolf Vision and Wolf's Pub. You need to be in 3 groups that are connected to Fast Abdoul and Telegram. That's it, super easy. Just join the Telegram groups, all right? If you join 3 of the Telegram groups you see on the screen right now, you're automatically entered to win. And as soon as we get the likes up, we're going to do the drawing for a $1,000 in incentive. All right? Really simple. Earn? Where is it? Pulse.
It'll be, look for like earned Pulse X.
Really?
Well, not earn. Yeah, earned Pulse X will be the pair, or earned Pulse, either. But I think the main pair is probably the Pulse X. There it is. Oh, there.
I think literally everybody has smashed the like button who's watching. Whoa. What is this exactly?
This is earn. So this is the same, like it's a fork of Liquidity that uses Pulse X for collateral, right? So it works exactly the same. You stake earn, you get Pulse X, and you get PXDC, right?
Uh-huh.
So they tend like
Who made
the charts. This is Power City Team.
Okay, this is this is not it's not necessarily good.
No, it's not as sexy
At all.
like, and it's almost half the price of the print token, right? So the print token's doing fairly well by comparison. They're both serving the same purpose essentially. So this is why I'm working with the Power City guys on the S-Print contract, is because they're interested in the potential of this upgrade too. It could apply to this protocol. So, but this is where, like we have this token that's doing stuff, right? But like people are still receiving it for free. So whenever you give somebody something for free, there's always going to be some sell pressure. There is utility, which is why this token isn't at 0 and how it has, some liquidity. But we want there to be more liquidity, and we want there to be positive buy pressure instead of sell pressure.
So what's the problem? Why are they having trouble generating demand for this?
Well, I think the main thing is just like they launched at a time in the bear market where like prices were going down, right? Like as far as people are using Pulse X for collateral with this protocol, right? which leads to like, okay, the PulseX price went down, your collateral ratio went down, right? The participation in the protocol, the total number of minted dollars is all lower than Ink Printer is. And that's, I think it's, like people like Ink, but people also like PulseX, right? So
Yeah.
I think as far as the participation goes and the price, there was less optimism at that time, but this is very bonded with PulseX for price. So we do see pumps on the price of the earn token, and those are connected to the price of PulseX, right? When PulseX pumps, earns pumps as well. So as far as like what it needs though, it probably needs an upgrade like what we were talking about as well in order to be sexier. I think it'll go up by itself. I think the bottom is probably closest to being in on all these liquidity forks, liquid loans included. But because they are so tied to the core assets, but like they need a little something extra, to make sure this doesn't happen. So I just wanted to show this as a health check on Ink Printer. We can see our price is almost double theirs on the exact same protocol. So it's like we have engaged participants who believe in the protocol, which is why, the price is quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
But as far as the workings of it go,
Yeah.
it's almost the same.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, your chart's very different. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look,
Yeah.
this is your chart's very new, so it's but still,
Yeah, and part of it is it's me too, right? Like I'm on the screen every day, and like people, like you have that face. We talked about that before. Like you have a known founder, you have face on the screen. The Power City guys are present and they're active as well, right? Like it's not like they're not showing up for work. They are showing up for work.
I think that I made a video recently. It did pretty well, and I was like, 3 things you need to know to get to a 10,000x, and I'm going to make a video I think tomorrow about marketing to break down point 1 of that.
Nice.
There's a lot of people messaging me about it, and I do think the cycles are going to change going forward. I think that what you just said was exactly right. That people know you, your face is out there, you're always present in in social media, and I think these things matter a lot going forward because competition is fierce, and frankly, no one really cares anymore about the tech because we're getting to a place where AI is going to start replicating these things or improving on them. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got AI to make Bitcoin better or some version of whatever, who knows what it could be, right? Something. And so I think at the end of the day, and you see this with the memes and everything, it is about communities, identity, people and what have you. In the same way, that we had memes and the communities around them, or PulseChain is just a community, where it's just a copy of Ethereum, but it could be more successful just because of the fact that the community is so intensely bonded, connected, and fierce about it. But yeah, that face on the screen, being somebody out there who people know, I think matters a lot. Because as you were saying too, like, how many liquidity forks can there be? An infinite amount on PulseChain. Which are the ones that are going to do well? Well, the ones where people have that familiarity, they know who you are. And Ink is also very popular too. It's really great. But yeah, you're right. People know you. They know who you are, and you're active, and you're out there talking to everybody. And I think those things matter a lot.
Somebody else could even make like a copy of this exactly and have another fork of liquidity that uses Ink as collateral, right?
Yeah.
But if that person is an unknown player and not trusted, right,
Yeah.
and not present, then
Yeah.
they're not gonna do well.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And there's a reason for that. Like it's like you're talking about a stable coin, like especially for things that involve stable coins, where you have that like there's like millions of dollars, there's $5 million locked in this protocol, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna trust a stranger like with that, even though it is immutable code, and you're not trusting me, you're trusting the code, but like it gives that extra assurance. So I take it as a compliment that people have used the protocol, but it's specifically designed to not require me. If I die, it's still there.
Yeah,
That's it.
100%. So I think that everyone who's watching has smashed the like button. Everyone who's watching has subscribed to the Telegram groups, and everybody watching has subscribed to the channel. I can only assume that at this point.
Yep. There's been a lot of traffic in the Telegram room. Many cheerful people have joined.
Sweet. So, oh yeah, you're almost at 1,000.
Yep.
I trust, Bright Light says, I trust Founder more if they're streaming, definitely. Yeah.
Bright Lights is a founder that streams himself. He's the founder of the Yep token.
Yep.
He does regular streams.
Hot dog. Let's go. I'm here too. So it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to wait till we get the likes up.
I'm not against pushing the button. If everybody who's here right now has already pushed the like button, then we could let them have it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have joined all the telegrams. I think everyone, a lot of people have subscribed and smashed the like button. It's up to Fast Abdoul at this point. Chat, you might have to twist his arm, but
We've had a couple people join the St. Wolf Telegram too, right?
oh yeah,
Okay, good.
St. Wolf Vision. Yeah, welcome everybody. Avoid should go to St. Wolf's Pub.
Right on. If anybody has any questions in the chat, feel free to ask. Though we will assist you in the future in the ink printer Telegram room. If you want to know how the protocol works, etc.
Frank says, "Let's
Done about
do
1,000
it."
videos.
You've done 1,000 videos.
Quite a few.
You're always somewhere talking with somebody. Yeah, you are. You probably have done 1,000.
There's a nice walkthrough I did with Crypto Coffee on this one for new people.
Yeah.
To look at Crypto Coffees where we actually go through this is how you do this, this is how you do that.
Okay.
That's probably, but also because it is a liquidity fork, there's like dozens and dozens of videos by the Power City team. Just Ask Jesse did them on Earn and Flex as well as on Liquid Loans. You can just about watch any of those and you'll learn what you need to know. There's only a couple differences between Ink Printer and Earn or Flex, and even Liquid Loans is almost the same. It just aside from using ink for collateral and having $500 vaults minimum instead of 2,000, it is the same code, and the interface is very similar.
All right, tell you
Last
what,
place
Pups. We got 165 likes. Let's get to 169. Let's give us a nice number. We get to 169, we'll do it. Because Kirill says, "Yee, let's go." Ethno Sapien says, "Let's go." Kirill says, "Do I lose ink when I get redeemed?" Happened to me during the stream. What?
When you get redeemed against, your loan gets paid off, right? So let's say you get redeemed against for $1,000. You don't have to pay back that $1,000 that you borrowed, but you lose $1,000 worth of ink from your collateral, right? So it's a net neutral. If the price of ink goes up after that, you lost. If the price of ink goes down after that, you won. And you could always buy back in. If you bought back in immediately before the price moved at all, it would be a net neutral because you've already borrowed that money and you just don't have to pay that amount of money back. So, but you can avoid getting redeemed against by just having a higher collateral ratio. It's always the lowest vault that gets redeemed against. So whoever the lowest is, they're the one who are gonna get redeemed against.
We're almost there. 3 more likes, and we're going to complete the drawing for $1,000 in incentive token. Only 3 more likes to go. Yep.
In Richard Hart's ink token. I'll post all the winners in the Telegram room, and I'll get them to contact me. So you DM me. I won't DM you on Telegram. Do it from the Telegram room.
Awesome. That's like 3 more likes. Somebody took their likes away. Oh, they're probably smashing it again. There you go.
Yeah, if you take them away and put them back, it doesn't make the number go up. If you borrow your wife's cell phone and then press like on that, that'll make the number go up.
Yeah, you're going to borrow a friend, send it to a friend, smash it. We got 3 more likes to go. I mean,
share this to Twitter too, kids. Press the share button, press X, press post. It's easy.
Crypto X is very quiet, eerily quiet, which is weird.
Oh, really? Interesting. I haven't really looked at X much lately.
Well, there you go. Everyone's trying to take away my like and add it on. Come on, we got 3 more.
New likes, kids. New likes.
I guess they thought of that, huh?
Maybe some of those 680 people watching on Twitter could come over to YouTube.
How many people watching on Twitter? Oh,
Well, I see 680.
oh damn. Okay, come on, Pops. One more to go. One more to go.
I'm going to start queuing it up.
We got the big giveaway. Come on.
Starting the bot.
And we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Oh, we're almost there. One more like. This is amazing. Look at this anticipation. All my a lot of my sound effects are gone. What's going on here? Where we at? One more like. We got $1,000 ink giveaway coming here. Krill's like, I'm done. I got to get to bed. Come on. This is anticipation.
Indeed.
We're gonna need a drum roll just for that 169th like is what's gonna have to happen here. People are trying to take away likes. Add them on. Come on. We're almost there. One more like. There we go.
We do it?
Yes, let's do the contest.
Okay. 169.
169.
Screenshot it, man.
We need applause just for getting to 169. All right.
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, let me bring it up. Oh, no, wrong. It's not that button. This button?
Bang. Okay, can we see that?
Yes.
Can you see the box or no?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so this is for $1,000 in ink.
Now we're going past 169. What's up, Phoenix Black? Avidian, we're all set. Claudia, we're there. Oh, now the likes are flowing and everyone's smashing it. It's awesome. All right, let's get the disco going. Let's go. Let's do this. $1,000 in ink.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Oh shit, are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, buddy. Ready?
Yep.
Ready.
There we go. Office for Action Recoupment.
I know who that is. Oh, that's my alt
Oh,
account.
really? Okay.
That's my alt account.
For real?
No.
No, it's not.
But I think I've seen them on the stream before. I think I have.
Okay.
That's like one person
Well,
I did recognize.
congratulations.
Hey, congratulations,
Office
man.
for Action in Recoupment.
Okay.
You have recouped $1,000 of the ink. They qualified in 6 groups in common with Fast Abdoul.
You crushed it, man. You did it. You made it.
Indeed.
You made it. Oh, we went up to 171 likes. Now we dropped back down to 169. Well, at least we got a nice floor. And office for some kind of a recruitment, office for action recruitment. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You've just now won $1,000 in incentive token. Nice work. Man, we did 3 rolls. Nobody on the chat won. Crazy.
That's unfortunate. But they're winning in knowledge now.
Chat, you guys won in knowledge. That's what you did. You won in knowledge.
So maybe future contests in the future.
I'm going to check those terms and rules and regulations next time we stream again. And next time Fast does it, I'm going to reduce it from you have 30 days to claim it to 30 minutes. I'm going to get last edits.
Basically, you have to be watching the stream. Yeah.
Fast is way too generous with his time. We need time restraints.
But this is fun. I think future contests that were stream centric, where it was all just about the stream.
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing.
Chat got rugged.
Oh dear, our likes going down.
They're taking their likes back. Don't do that. We're going to do another contest tomorrow.
That's right. No, we're not.
Fast,
you never know.
Fast Abdoul just gave away a Bored Ape and $1,500 in incentive token. So smash the like button, everybody. And definitely go subscribe to the channel. Use ink printer. Go to the chat. That was very cool. And thank you, Fast Abdoul. Yeah, that was very generous, man. That was very cool.
Yeah, no problem. I'm pleased with the community. I'm pleased with people who are interacting in the Telegram room. And I think we need things like contests like this to, just get people excited all the time. There's always, it's a big community, PulseChain in general, and we need to give something back once in a while, like founders do, big whales do, right? Like if people are supporting you, you gotta pay it back. This is the deal.
Yeah, 100%. I think this was a really great idea, and we got to do more of these for sure. It'll be really cool. Yeah, I think it'd be really awesome, especially as the bull runs, as we're getting more bullish and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Heading out of the summer, we got to do these. Yeah, these are great.
There's things I've seen other YouTubers use tools that like pull from the chat on YouTube. Like Randy does one where you have to put you have to put a specific word or a specific number in the chat, and then it rolls through every post that has that word in the chat, and then draws from there. Things like that would be cool. We could check on that in the future.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Cool, man. Well, anything else you want to wrap us up with?
I think we covered all the heavy stuff. Keep an eye on more posts about upgrades for ink printer. Like I said, we're going to have S print, that's liquid stake print, live next week with zero impermanent loss yield farming. And then soon, via help from the Hocus Pocus team, we're going to have the Incinerator farms, which will have multiple opportunities to earn the Incinerator token that will reward you an ink for holding it, that you can get for free if you participate in the farms. So it's the same with the print token. You don't have to buy it. You can get it for free by using the protocol. And with the Incinerator farms, you can get Incinerator token for free from using the protocol. There'll be lots of opportunities we're going to try to create for people. It's time to build.
Awesome, man. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about ink. I'm really excited about ink printer, what you made. It's super cool. And
thanks, man.
I remember when you had the flash to do it, it was fucking really cool. I immediately was like, that's an awesome idea. So I'm glad that you did it, and it looks great, man.
It worked.
And I hope it's very successful. People are very excited
Cool.
about incentive tokens, so this just adds to it. It's great.
I appreciate you, Wolf. I appreciate you having me on, and that I know you have me on all the time, but today it was about my thing and not about everything else. So yeah, thanks for taking the time, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime. And chat, thanks a lot for playing. That was an amazing contest. That was a lot of fun, actually. And next time we're gonna do it, we'll make sure. I can feel it. It's gonna be all winners in the chat next time for sure. And I'll be streaming tomorrow night what's today's? Tonight, because I think we got a lot to cover before this weekend to wrap up this week. So I'll definitely be streaming again, and I got new videos coming out as well. So stay tuned.
Well, what time do you think you'll be streaming tomorrow?
Same time probably as we started now. Maybe slightly later if it's Friday night. Well, no, probably around the same time. So I have time to get a drink afterwards. So
Right on.
you guys are amazing. Chat, you guys are awesome. Everybody out there in Xland, thanks so much for playing and sticking around tonight. We can do a meme contest? Yeah, we'll do more. We'll just do all kinds of contests.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And today it was like at least $2,500 in prizes by my estimation. Like, I bet you other founders might come on and, like, even if it was $50 or $100 worth of prizes, it's like, it's something to do, right? So if you're a founder and you're watching this and, you want to give away $100 of your token, $200 of your token, do like 2-3 draws, like, I bet you you could twist Wolf's arm on that one. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
I think, I really like the idea. And you were very generous. I mean, yeah, you gave away a lot. I mean, Fast, that was epic. That was some epic give. I really wanted to win one of them.
Yeah, but they're all cool. But the like if it was a meme token, right? Like
Yeah.
you can give away $50 of the meme token that could be $1,000 one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you might have just
never
given
know
away
what's gonna happen.
$100,000 right now tonight.
If it was, think of like if it was Doge or SHIB or something like that in the early days, it could have been $1 million.
Yeah, man. This is awesome. So yeah, thanks, Fast Abdoul. That was amazing. And everybody, I guess we'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Cool.
Cool. All right, peeps. Good night, pups. See you.